All right, just getting started here, so bear with us. I'm going to send Jackson an invite right now if anyone is watching. So just wait up 1 second here. We're going to have an interesting discussion here. Let's see if Jackson's going to make his way here. All right. Actually, I need to see the chat too. So 1 second, guys. I'm not seeing the chat. Um, so just have one moment here of getting some technical stuff handled. So if anyone is just joining us here, me and Jackson from Plantriotic are going to have a hopefully nice and spirited debate. And gosh, I can't even get to the I'm not even seeing the comments yet, guys. So 1 second to get to my channel. All right, I think if I click this button, I'll start seeing the chat. Okay. All right, guys. So I can finally see the chat comments here. So that's a big start. I think if I click this button, I'll start seeing the. All right, guys. Waiting for Jackson to show up. Let me mute this audio here. So hey, nice to see you guys again too. Now it seems like I was just on, huh? Let me see. There's one thing I can do here to change the thumbnail, and hopefully Jackson will pop up right now too. Let's see. Where are my events here? Sorry, guys. Oh, cool. Hang on 1 sec, guys. This will be cool. I'm going to change the thumbnail because this thumbnail really, really sucks. So give me like 20 seconds here to fix the thumbnail. Ah, it's not letting me change the thumbnail. Bummer. Bummer. Total bummer. I hate these basic thumbnails. It's a really nice thumbnail too.
Oh,
I think we might have Jackson here.
yes, I am good.
Cool. Ooh, let me turn this off here. All right. Let's see. I see something here.
I was just grabbing Maggie's water bowl to bring it outside. We're hanging out in this nice little hotel Airbnb thing in El Salvador. Last night in El Salvador. Tomorrow we should bike into Honduras.
Oh my God. That's totally crazy.
Check out this vegan beast right here. Fully vegan dog, people. 16, 17 months vegan. She eats bones in the street, but 90%, 95% of her calories vegan.
Cool.
I've never purchased animal products for her ever.
Why don't you entertain everyone for a second here? Maybe set up a little bit about what we're going to talk about. I'm going to try to see if I can put up that nice thumbnail that you gave me earlier.
Yeah, definitely.
I've never had trouble with this in the past, and I thought I saw this technical issue earlier, but I'm not. So I'll Jackson have the floor, and I'll be back.
Are people tuned in? Where can I? Yeah, let me go to
if you go to the watch page
first.
Yeah, if you go to the watch page, yeah, I'll let you get there.
Yeah.
About 90 people on thus far.
Oh, sick.
And great. we should get well over 100 if we wait another second or two. So yeah, why don't you have the floor here, and I'll see if I can put that nice thumbnail up that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell about what you've been thinking about and stuff.
Yeah, of course, for sure. Okay, I'm in the chat, so I see your guys' chat. That's great. And so this is why, and any sounds you may hear will be Maggie destroying a stick, which I will have to sweep and clean up after this. Ryan, you can still hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys. As you know, I have been, oh, that dog. It's probably really annoying. Hopefully it will be quiet. There's just a cat that walked by. But I've been communicating with tons of people in the, carnivore and ex-vegan movement, like Bobby's Perspective and Drew Morg and Primal Edge Health, and Elise, and I've been doing, and as someone who is so passionate about veganism, you guys know my content, you see what I do. I am just as fired up about it than ever. In fact, I've had some debates like I had with Drew, which I think was one of the most badass debates of me just showing and exposing that guy is giving health advice to people with purely like a few handful of anecdotal experiences versus the wealth of information and knowledge we have from the most intelligent nutrition associations and organizations in the world, who all pretty much unanimously, except for a fringe group of carnivore or keto doctors, which is extremely fringe. I mean, the most mainstream knowledge we have, and what makes the most sense to me, and probably a lot of people listening to this, is that a diet high in plant foods, high in fiber, high in carbohydrates, and very low or minimized to zero animal-based foods, which are high in saturated fat and cholesterol, that is the recipe for the healthiest diet. And also we can talk about sustainability, we can talk about ethics. I mean, Ryan and I are on the same page. We are advocating for a vegan, plant-based diet and world for the animals for health. We all agree on that. But after seeing and talking to so many of these ex-vegans and carnivores, essentially what they have been saying is, look, I had some health issues. I've been vegan for this time. And I tried including animal products like eggs or salmon or liver or whatever they did. And I have a lot of personal friends like Elise, Raw Alignment. Her and I are personal friends. We've hung out in 2 states together. We've been talking since 2014. She said there was literally a switch almost immediately when she ate fish in terms of clearing these issues of brain fog and energy and congestion. And then you have people like Drew Morg, who also personal friend of mine. We've hung out in the actual real world. I think so many of these conversations are just through people see YouTubers as these like far off distant things. And to be honest, I have so many criticisms of those people. I've made videos about it. There's a chance that their vegan diet was not the same as Ryan or my vegan diet, which by the way is quite similar. We believe in a mainly whole food, plant-based, high carb diet, but we're also not scared to eat fortified soy milk and go out for a veggie burger. We're very practical health vegans. We're both into endurance exercise, but we don't take it too seriously. Like I think Ryan and I are really balanced vegans for the long term, and there's a reason why Ryan and I feel amazing. I currently have zero. I shouldn't say zero because that's what this debate is about. But in terms of my health, there is nothing telling me to eat animal products. I feel sharp mentally. I mean, I live one of the most physically rigorous lifestyles you could ever imagine. I pull my over 100-pound bicycle around the world over mountains. Go follow my YouTube channel. I'm currently in El Salvador, and I've ridden my bike here 100% by bicycle from Alaska all the way to here. But I have done my best to not be a tribal vegan. Essentially, what I mean by tribal vegan is someone who, even against the science, the environmental science and the health science, would be a part of the vegan movement just because they love the label. So let's just say that the American Heart Association, and this isn't happening, but let's just say, for me to articulate what I mean by tribal vegan, let's just say undoubtable information comes out that including like 10% of animal products in your diet is actually better for longevity and health and performance for humans than a fully plant-based diet. By the way, that information has not come out yet, but let's say it did. A tribal vegan would be someone who says, I want to be vegan even if it's not as good for my health, just because I believe in the label. And I would understand that for some people, for the animals, for the environment. But me personally, if I found out that humans required some form of meat that like significantly reduced disease or for other reasons that we're vegan, I would entertain the idea of having some backyard chickens and having their eggs, or going fishing, and in the most ethical and non-industrial agriculture ways, I would include 10% animal products, because I don't think it makes sense to follow a diet that humans aren't evolved to eat. Now, that's all hypothetical. I feel amazing as a vegan, and all the science says that we can thrive on every stage of life through plants. But
All right, Jackson,
and
I'm gonna
sorry,
jump
I
in
know.
here.
Wait.
I was going to say
I'm
I'm
almost
back.
done.
I'm here. I got the thumbnail up. Everything's cool.
Great. So let me just finish, and then we'll get into the debate. So essentially, I put on Instagram the other day because a lot of my carnivore friends, like Drew, were saying you might as well, Jackson, because I've been debating all these carnivores on behalf of veganism and on behalf of the plant-based diet. But they've been saying, Jackson, you've been vegan for 6.5 years. You have not included any animal products in your diet. What if you actually don't even know what we're talking about, and including something like an egg a day or an egg even a week or a piece of fish every few days? What if you tried that and you noticed significant improvements? And as a scientist, even though or someone who likes to study science and who's educated, even though there's nothing telling me in terms of my health to try that, I am open to giving these people the benefit of the doubt that as a 6.5 year vegan, I have never had the experience of eating an egg or 2 or 3 per week and seeing how it made me feel. That's just a fact. I don't know how my body would react to that. And I have all these influences of my friends, some of them saying, I think you would notice significant improvements. So, because this whole carnivore versus vegan and meat eating versus vegan thing has been such in the YouTube scene lately, I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if a vegan who wasn't biased with health issues, meaning me, unbiased, I love my vegan diet, what if for a month, in return for raising money from meat eaters, putting up a GoFundMe page to all the carnivores, advertising it on their page, which by the way, they declined to do. But I came up with the idea of what if we could raise thousands of dollars and give it to animal sanctuaries, which is like such an amazing thing for animals, taking abused and injured animals from factory farms and giving them a free place to live. And there's so many awesome animal sanctuaries all over the United States and the world. What if, in order to figure out this experiment and take a case study in this conversation to take a healthy vegan like me, have one of these carnivores design a diet that they say I would feel so much better, because that's what they're all saying, which I don't agree with. But I was like, maybe I'd be willing as an experiment for the public and for YouTube and for myself and to raise money for animals. Here in Central America, I can find completely local free-range eggs. I can even find local goat meat and, not factory farm meat. What if I tried their diet for 30 days, showed what it's like to kill animals, did a really real dive in for people to understand what it means to have to eat meat and what it did to my body in order to raise money for animal sanctuaries and to figure it out. What if, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think it's tribal to say, I know for a fact as a 6 or 10 year vegan, I won't feel good on animal products. You don't know that. So what if I tried it, did an experiment, and then boom, after the experiment, if I felt just the same or worse, that would be an amazing thing for the vegan movement, for me to show that I felt worse eating a few animal products and a fully plant-based diet is best. And then if I felt significantly better and I could measure benefits, I'm not vegan because of just the tribe. And I'll be honest, Ryan said as we were talking, dude, don't do this. Your followers will be really mad. I don't care about social media followers. I care about the truth. So let's just say in the experiment, really radical changes happened to me, then we would know that maybe, at least for me and maybe you and people watching, including a few animal products in your diet was better. Now, I don't think that's what would happen, but I was open to the idea of the experiment, and Ryan thinks that that's a terrible idea, and now we are debating about it.
Yeah, first of all, you said you got this idea from Drew Morgan. I have to admit, I don't know too much about him, but the little bit I've seen of him is that he lies. He is a compulsive liar. Everything him and that Bobby dude said about us on that live podcast I made was completely false. Why would you trust the opinion of someone who is a known liar? And he's kind of like the devil. He's just telling you what you want to hear. His goal is really diabolical. He wants to he one by one has lined up all these vegans, some I know, some I don't, and tried whatever he could, whatever tactic he could pull, whatever line of BS, bull crap, non-scientific crap he'll give you to try to get you, oh, just try this thing, because if you do that, you're not a vegan anymore. It has some kind of weird agenda to get vegans to not be vegans anymore. Secondly, this idea of raising money for animals, like on animal sanctuaries. That's great. Angie and I are going to go visit Sail Ranch Sanctuary next week and help them raise money. But the idea of raising money for live animals by eating dead animals, to me, seems completely contradictory.
Yeah, and I understand that. I guess I came from it as I have all this influence from these people saying, Jackson, you should try it. So I thought, if I were to eat animals, which is not good for the animals and maybe not even good for my health, I want to figure out some way to try to balance it out. And the most logical thing to me was to raise money for animal sanctuaries. But I want to talk about the Drew Morgan thing. First off, I'm sure you've had some of these people. I've had a lot of them because I've been making carnivore videos. And by the way, Ryan and I, it's like funny and fun to have this debate because we are really good friends. We are allies. We have the same mission. And we also think the same thing.
I'm kind of wondering now how much so, but continue.
Come on, Ryan. No, you know we're brothers forever.
I would never consider. I don't care what that little dumb crap Drew would ever say to me. He could
just wait. Listen. It's not just Drew.
I'll come to shove an egg up his butthole.
Okay, it's not just Drew. A lot of people have been messaging me that they tried a lot of people. I can go through my DMs that they say,
I'm not one of them.
I'm not one of them either. But there has been a handful of people who have messaged me and said, I was vegan for a while. I felt okay or started having some health issues. I included some animal products in my diet and I feel a lot better. Again, not my experience, but I have been getting these messages which have opened my eyes into the idea that maybe some people can't be 100% vegan. It's hard for me to believe because so many of my friends and myself are thriving off of a fully vegan diet, but all the science that we love from Dr. Greger to Esselstyn to really all the science, Ryan, does not say that a 100% vegan diet is the best to prevent.
100% wrong, Jackson. Some studies have not. Some studies haven't measured a fully vegan diet, but some studies have. In fact, Dr. Greger has gone on record, said he does not call himself a vegan. He said he doesn't follow a vegan diet. He says he follows what is an evidence-based diet, and the evidence shows him that he doesn't include these.
Are there any studies to say that a vegan diet is better than a 90% vegan diet?
You interrupt me, Jackson. If what you're saying is true, Dr. Greger, who says he follows the evidence. If the evidence said he should poop on his foot every third day, he would, but it doesn't say that. It doesn't say to eat an egg here or there, eat a little piece of salmon here or there. The evidence is as he states here, eating a whole food, plant-based diet. There's no studies that say, but if you eat an egg, you'll be a little bit healthier or your risk of disease or all-cause mortality will go down. I know what you're referring to. There's some studies where they haven't gone all the way. They found like the benefits of a plant-based diet can be had if you're like 80 or 90% of it. But that's some studies. There's other studies that have measured like vegans. Like
that's I just thought that was a more known
vegans
thing.
have the lowest risk of diabetes. Who's the next lowest risk? Vegetarians. And the more animal products you include, the higher and higher it goes. Same with the body mass index. So
hey, you're speaking my language.
I'm just saying, you can't say there's no science that shows vegan diets have tangible benefits, not only on biomarkers, but actually on health outcomes compared to other diets. Wait, let me stop you here.
Okay.
There's only one diet.
We can stop debating this because I fully agree with you. I just didn't know.
So hang on a second. There's only one diet in the whole universe that's been shown to take people whose doctor said, you're going to die soon, get your affairs in order because you're toast because of your coronary heart disease. Only one diet has reopened their arteries back up in multiple patients. That's a whole food plant-based diet. They weren't eating eggs. They weren't eating salmon once in a while to try to feel better, like Drew Morgan says. So you can't just come out and say there's no science that shows that vegan diets have direct causal impact as far as reversing disease and longevity outcomes. So I just want to make that
Okay.
absolutely clear. You cannot say that.
Okay, and Ryan, I love that because we're on the same team. I think you need to. I don't want to say calm down because I love your
No,
passion.
I get getting pissed off that you're using Drew Morgan as some kind of.
I'm not. So listen to this, Ryan. Listen to this.
Nimrod.
My buddy Jackson Long, Drew Morgan thinks that a diet of 95% meat is the optimal diet. So also don't put
about how completely divorced.
I agree. But
in
listen,
fact, you had to admit on your own debate with him that he doesn't give a crap about science. Only thing
I agree.
is personal anecdotal evidence.
Dude, I agree. I'm the one who's made some epic videos recently saying, showing the lie. I literally have a video saying carnivores lie to your face, and I go through and I go through. I'm not. I haven't fucking eaten meat. Okay, I'm simply trying to enter. No, I am not considering it strongly. That's a lie because if you look through our Instagram messages over the last day, I've said I'm 99% sure that I will not try this. I am simply trying to open up my mind.
One second, Jackson. Bobby's perspective is here, who says I'm deficient. I'll have a discussion with you one day, bro. But
okay. Just let Bobby hear us out. I think Bobby will really enjoy this conversation.
Let me put this dude on timeout because
let Bobby be here.
No, I just put him on timeout because I just want to get him to shut up for a second. Bobby, if you think you're so friggin' healthy, I'm like twice your age. You know, I'm more athletic than you. Let's see you get a basketball over the rim at your age.
That has height to do as well.
Let's see.
Bobby, it's ridiculous. If you think that Ryan is unhealthy, I know Ryan personally in the flesh. Ryan is more youthful and sharp and hip than 99% of the people his age I have met. I've gone on trail runs with Ryan when I was freaking 22 or 3 years old, and Ryan's in his 40s, and he's doing things that the vast majority of 40-year-olds cannot do.
The vlog I put out yesterday at the gym.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I played a game of basketball, 21, with guys.
They're putting
the oldest guy I played was 31. The other guys are in their 20s. I beat them all. So how can that be possible?
And look, Bobby's gonna say, look, Ryan and Jackson have skinny necks. Well, guess what, Bobby? I've spent the last 20 months riding my 100-pound bicycle from Alaska to El Salvador. That's going to get you lean as fuck and skinny and even depleted. If I go and lift weights and stop doing this for months, I'll go back to when I was thick and jacked and didn't have a skinny neck. They have so little science to prove that what they're doing or what they're saying is true that they just point to these really dumb anecdotal examples of things like a skinny neck and not having large traps for people that don't even lift and say that that's a sign of them being unhealthy. It's very stupid.
So Ryan, your slam dunk, I'll take you seriously. Until then, you're just a lying piece of meat. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. And I'll leave it.
Okay, but Ryan, let's get back to this. Let's get back to our point. So first off, this is a very important point for me to make. Sure, I can have you, a good friend of mine, saying, no, Jackson, there actually are studies that say even a little bit of animal products, even a little bit, like an egg a week or whatever. And I've seen those studies, like Michelle McMacken, VegMD, who the other day was putting out advertising on her Instagram, a new study that said like even half an egg a day increases risk of heart disease and overall mortality in this epidemiological study. But do you know my friend Jackson Long from Thought for Food? He hasn't been posting much recently. One of my closest friends. He's been in my channel a million times. He is the most scientific, evidence-based vegan I know. He got his undergraduate degree from UC Boulder from in human physiology, and he just finished his master's program in nutrition. And he is a vegan.
Get to your point, Jackson. What's the point with this dude?
Okay, and he is a vegan cyclist, and he's my really good friend, and he's 100% vegan. But I interviewed him the other day for my channel. We did an interview that I have recorded, and he said that there isn't much evidence, and he's 100% vegan, but he said there isn't much evidence showing that a 100% vegan diet is better than a 90% vegan diet. So the only reason that I'm saying that is, yeah, I trust you as my friend that maybe you have done the the studies and research to show that 100% is better than a 90%. But then I have people like Jackson, who's a vegan who just got his master's in applied nutrition, and he's telling me, who's probably read way more studies than us because he just got his master's degree in nutrition, and he's passionate about the vegan movement, and he's also just objectively as a scientist saying that probably the health benefits of eating 90% vegan are probably just as good as 100. So don't say that I'm like lying or doing anything. All I'm doing is talking to my friends who know more than me or researching it myself and trying to discuss. And I just haven't heard too many points to say that an 100% vegan diet is just like a million times better than 90%, which is why I've been open to entertaining this idea from some of these ex-vegans that maybe there are some humans who would feel better performance and health benefits and whatever with eating some animal products, which is why I was open to the idea as a healthy vegan to trying that out in order to share to the public what happens when a vegan eats a little bit of animal products. And also,
kind of stop.
Yeah, go on.
We've been focused way too much on just one aspect of veganism, looking at it as a diet. But
Yes.
more so than a diet, it's the definition of veganism. You know, I have it ingrained in my brain: a lifestyle which seeks to exclude much as practically possible all forms of
Yes.
exploitation and cruelty to animals. So that's what veganism is, and that's why I got into veganism. I'm assuming that's why you got into veganism. So here's the thing: even if you saw some study that says, maybe a 90% or 95% vegan diet might be as healthy as a 100% vegan diet, I mean, what happened to the ethics there? If you can not have to have any bit of animal products and have the exact same great health as a supposed lesser percent vegan diet, to me, it just seems absolutely pointless. This is why needlessly kill animals that don't want to die. They want to live a fulfilling life just like you do. They don't want to be shot in the neck or hit in the head or whatever. However
Yep.
what's the point on killing and harming animals to get this non-gain? I mean, if you're saying they're equivalent, what's the point? It seems absolutely just pointless. If you are
I totally understand that, and
why would you want to kill an animal if you don't have to kill an animal? And here, let me further that question. Unlike these other former ex-vegans who I trust to very degree, who claim they have SIBO and brain fog and all this nonsense. Anyway, you're fine as far as I know, as you said, and I'm perfectly fine and healthy. There's nothing to gain. I don't want to feel any more energy. I already have energy coming out of the yayas at my age. Angie can't get me to stop working and stop going to the gym and just stop doing my
I know,
thing.
we've hung out. We both are extremely successful.
Anything. So I'm going, what is there to gain? I mean, I remember back, you said you don't know what it's like to eat eggs. Yeah, it's 6.5 years ago since you had some, I assume. Me, over almost 9 years.
Yes.
I remember what it's like. I didn't feel better back then. I had
but it's different because before that you had been eating animal products.
What's going to happen once I say you're going to eat?
We don't know. We don't know. Maybe you'll feel
nothing because you already feel 100%.
No, you don't know.
I feel better now at age 51 than I did.
You can't know what you're missing unless you try it. So, by the way, I'm not an ex-vegan. I have not eaten animal products, and
I had eggs almost every day for years.
But listen, you're missing my point. You've never eaten eggs after being vegan long term, and there is a chance. And I don't believe this. I'm just trying to be as fair and open-minded as possible.
Putting this idea in your head that is just effing with.
It's not.
He's not putting this evil temptation.
Okay, so I have a lot of things. To say from what you just said. First point, and I want to get into the ethics of why would you, if you call yourself a vegan, which you guys know I'm vegan. I've been posting vegan content for the last 5 years on my channel. I have vegan tattoos. I'm vegan as fuck. I'm more vegan right now than I've ever been. And a part of this study is honestly for me to hopefully further the vegan movement. And I haven't said that I'm doing this study of eating animal products for 30 days and seeing what happens. I'm simply entertaining the idea and talking to my friends like we are now, if it would be a good idea for me to try it. And Ryan, you guys clearly know his opinion. That is not a good idea as a vegan to try for a month to eat some animal products and see what happens. I might agree with him. I'm just trying to figure it out for myself.
Hey,
But
Bobby,
first,
you're a dick and you're just banned. I'm healthier than you, I
no,
have better
don't.
blood
Come on,
temperature.
who cares? Don't let him get on your nerves. Don't even
No,
look at him, man.
no, he's
Come
gone.
on.
Bobby, if you ever get some money to come out and play basketball here in California, if you lived in the US, I would fly
Ryan,
you out
why
here and
would you
play one-on-one.
close
But
down
Bobby,
these people
you're a
from
liar.
hearing us? They
He's
got to
banned.
hear us talk. Unban him,
No,
Ryan.
he's banned.
Unban him.
Bobby is
No,
banned. He's earned it.
okay.
Look at all his posts here. He just keeps trying to say I'm on phytoestrogen, whatever the hell that means.
People in the comments say, do you think that Ryan should stifle people who eat meat to be able to hear conversations that Ryan are having? I think that's a bad idea. You should.
But
Dude,
Jackson,
who
stop.
cares?
Jackson, stop.
Wait.
Bobby can hear everything. He has lost his privilege to.
Sorry.
Comments. He can hear everything.
Sorry.
I'm not banning him from knowledge, but I'm banning him from interrupting our nice, peaceful, positive comment.
That is fine.
You just can't come here and hurl insults because he disagrees with me on diet. He does not have that right.
That is fine. Okay, let me respond to some things that you said. So first, you said that you pretty much the way you insinuated is that you don't believe people like Drew Morgan and Raw Alignment who say that they had bad digestion and brain fog. You said it like, oh, they had brain fog, they had bad digestion. I fully believe that they had health issues. Whether that's because of the vegan diet, that's a different story. I can point to Elise, for instance, and people were commenting on my channel. She is very body image obsessed. She clearly calorie restricts in some way at some periods of her life. She's done juice fasting. There could be environmental reasons why she felt that. I'm guessing she wasn't supplementing with DHA and EPA.
You're still watching. Are your testosterone levels higher than mine? 750. Mine are at the levels of a 28-year-old.
Nice. Angie's in the top.
The levels of a 95-year-old woman. Just put in perspective, bro. Who's got the masculinity here?
Someone said I'm a fraud in the vegan community. How have I been a fraud? All I've done for the last 5 years on YouTube is promote veganism, so that's fun.
So basically,
and I still do to this day. No, dude, you're not letting me respond.
No,
you said some things that I need to respond to.
You're kind of wiggling around here because here's what I'm saying.
No, there's things I need to respond to, Ryan.
Put a question out to you, Jackson, like, hey, you're vegan. I'm going to try to get you off your morals here and say, hey, what if you leave your ethics and morals and try this and engage in an immoral activity? What if he said, I'm not saying he would promote this or anyone, but just this is the same parallel reasoning. And for those of you guys who studied logic before, like, let's say, like, I've kidnapped people, I know you've never kidnapped anyone, but just try it because it brings me all these benefits. Or
again, here's how it's different because that makes no sense, Ryan. There's no mechanism. Your logic is terrible here, buddy. I'm sorry, and I love you. Listen, this is why when you eat
in your head like you're doing a moral,
right, you're not letting me talk.
You might get some kind of gain or benefit from it.
Listen.
And
if it turned out that
that's the devil in detail. You won't know until you try.
If it turned out that every single vegan would experience some health benefits from eating 10% of their calories from animal products, which, by the way, this is 100% theoretical and hypothetical. I don't think that. I'm saying, let's just say that was the case, and the only way that you could figure that out is if you did it, if you ate 10% of your calories from animal products after being vegan. If every single vegan saw benefits, I would 100% recommend that people have a couple hens in their backyard and they eat an egg or two a week. Why would we eat a diet that is literally not optimal for humans? Which, by the way, if we decrease animal agriculture by 90%, essentially all of the environmental issues would go away. But again, that's not a proven fact. I'm just saying I wanted to try it out as an experiment. But I don't think Drew is the devil. I think that you are being closed-minded and tribal by saying Drew is this evil, menacing person. Drew is someone who, listen, I'm the one who makes videos trashing Drew about how shitty his logic and unscientific he is. I'm being so fair right now in saying that Drew is not an evil person. He is someone who has openly said he cares more about his anecdotal experience than he cares about the large breadth of science to show that eating high amounts of animal products long term will increase your risk of heart disease. He doesn't care about that, which I think is very stupid.
That's just
And he said
right there, Jackson. If he doesn't care about science, doesn't care about ethics or morality.
But listen, he was struggling as a vegan. He said he could not digest his food. He could not build muscle. Again, these are not things that I experience, but I believe him. I do not think he's lying. I've met Drew. He's like a groovy, like chill dude. If veganism was working for him just as well as it was working for you and I see no reason why he would have wanted to change his diet to animal products. He literally, whatever he was doing wasn't working. He introduced animal products and saw extreme benefits. Now, is there a chance that all these people are just lying scumbags? I guess because we're in the world, there's a chance of that, but I don't think that that is the case at all. I think these are actual people who are really into veganism. It wasn't working. They tried something else, and they got benefits. So then Drew keeps saying, why would we trust all of this science if it's
Let me ask you this. I don't know anything about Drew's diet. Let me ask you a couple questions. Did he do any long-term stints at raw food?
He tried stuff like that,
okay,
yes,
did he do
which I have as well.
Did he do fasting?
He has tried juice fasting, yes.
Okay. Well, already we're starting to see a pattern. I'm noticing.
Look, I've eaten a lot of juice before. I've eaten raw, and I feel great.
It's not a slam dunk like saying if you're into raw food and fasting and all those kind of woo-woo forms of extreme veganism that you will end up quitting veganism. It's like it's a higher probability that you will. It's like, you know, if you smoke 5 packs a day, it doesn't guarantee lung cancer, but increases your chances. So Drew fits this larger pattern of Tim Sheaf, Ravana, Raw Lyman, and Evan and guys like that who did all this woo-woo fasting and raw food, extended periods on that. And yeah, they screw up their digestion. They screw up their microbiome. That's not you. I know you did raw for like 8-9 months like I tried.
And I felt great, by the way.
Nothing bad happened to me. But
every vegan diet I've tried has been awesome. And right now I eat like a mainly whole foods, plant-based, high fruit diet. And I also eat vegan cookies and a veggie burger once in a while.
He wasn't doing a vegan diet. A vegan diet just doesn't mean you have to go raw and do all these juice.
But he's eating normal as well. He's eating, you know, smoothies in the day and then rice and beans.
Dieting. And you know, lo and behold, come out now. A lot of people are doing these extreme forms of dieting. It screws up their digestion. It screws up their microbiome. That is not you, Jackson. And that,
I agree.
That is not me too, because we eat a sensible diet. The kinds of diets like Dr. Ornish, Dr. Preston, Dr. Neil Bernard, Garth Davis, and McDougall all recommend. I mean, there's some variability, but they all pretty much stay on a whole food, plant-based diet. Yeah, you can go and eat an occasional burger once in a bit, but they don't. I've never seen any of them. Dr. Greg, you must do 30-day juice fast, or you have to eat raw food and all this.
And there's such a clear trend between people who have eaten like extreme diets with 1 meal a day or fasting, and who end up becoming ex-vegans. I think there's an absolute trend. You don't see people like Ryan and I who eat like a balanced, science-based, normal vegan diet who are having health issues and eating meat. 100%.
It doesn't happen.
But I totally agree. But by the way, we're going to get a bunch of messages, I know, from the chat and from people saying, no, I did eat your normal diet, Jackson, and I developed IBS, or I developed brain fog, or I developed hypothyroidism. I've been getting the messages. Now, we don't know what these people are eating, so we can't listen to that fully. But let's further the conversation, because you talked about the ethics and you didn't let me respond. You said, Jackson, why would you contribute to animal cruelty for a month as an experiment just to see what happens, in order to do this study when you don't have to because you feel great? And let me tell you
really quickly that Bobby hopped back onto the comments using another account, started lying, which my moderator quickly caught, and I put him in timeout again. So Bobby, I already banned you once. You're gonna get banned again. What kind of nerve does it take to come back from being banned from lying, hop on with another account, and start lying again? I've never heard you say one thing correct. People tell me that's not even your name, for God's sake. But anyway, let's get back to your point here, Jackson. Yeah, my moral question is, yeah, if why would you needlessly choose, intentionally choose to kill and harm animals when there seems to be no need to? If the science says you don't need to, 90% or 100% vegan gets the same results according to the studies that you are choosing to pick.
Yes.
What is the point of needlessly killing animals when you really don't have to? You don't have any SIBO or anything like that. I don't understand why. If you're a vegan, which is a moral philosophy, a choice not to harm and exploit animals, why would you want to even consider harming and exploiting animals when there's absolutely no need? Tell me. Yeah.
So here's why I've been thinking and considering doing a 30-day meat included diet. And I should just say, very much just considering. I've in no way made my mind. I haven't eaten any animal products. I swear on Maggie's life, who's my pup, who's the love of my life, who's sitting right there next to me. I have not eaten any animal products, period. I'm just talking to friends to seeing if it would be a beneficial thing on the internet with lots of people viewing who have been in these heated discussions about carnivore versus vegan, about vegan versus 90% vegan. I simply thought it might be an interesting experiment as somebody who hasn't had health issues to include these foods and then see if these benefits from these ex-vegans and carnivores also pertain to someone like me who's thriving off of veganism. Do I get slightly better mental cognition? Do I get slightly better recovery, energy, whatever? I think that, and so let's talk about why I am thinking about it versus you saying, no, if you're vegan, you should absolutely stay vegan for the rest of your life and never test anything.
Especially, no, I'm saying especially a person like myself, like you, like Dr. Garth Davis, like Nimai Delgado, everyone I know who's just,
I know, but us as YouTubers, we are representatives of everyone who's vegan.
There's no problems. You don't have any issues or problems like these guys.
I know, but a lot of people are having issues, Ryan. A lot of people are having issues who want to be vegan.
It's a poorly designed experiment because the variables are totally different. You don't.
That might be totally true.
You already. I'm sure you're fine. It's sexually. You don't need to eat salmon to feel sexual. Nope. You don't have brain fog. You don't need to eat.
Right, dude, but are you not listening to me? Like, what if all those things were better? The only way for me to know is if I tried it out, and I don't think people should.
Do you have a sexual drive right now as a vegan? Do you have energy?
Ryan, okay, but I'm saying all these ex-vegans have been saying you might increase just your level of human performance, and I'm all about just trying to figure out what is best. What is the best diet in this case? But I also really care about ethics. So let me talk about the ethics real quick. This is very, very important to me because I got my degree in sustainability and the environment is included in the ethics of the world. And I also care so much about animal rights. It's the reason that I'm vegan. But when I think about it, Maggie, don't go and fight with that dog. Come here. Come here. Come here, girl. He's going to bark. So ethically, I propose to you the idea. Well, no, I proposed to you today on Instagram just to kind of figure out how much I kind of trust you in terms of ethics and sustainability. I said from a scientific and rational basis instead of a tribal vegan basis, I said to you, Ryan, do you think that a diet of someone living in Alaska or somewhere in the country, for instance, who hunted 3 to 4 wild large animals like deer or moose per year in order to feed their family and then had a vegetable garden in a greenhouse, which is very attainable. If you wanted to get most of your calories from meat and you hunted wild animals, which is the most ethical or non-unethical way to kill animals if you think you need to eat meat for your health. And I'm giving this person the benefit of the doubt that for their body, they think that it's healthy to eat meat. You and I disagree with that. I'm giving this person the benefit of the doubt, and they, I guess, are allowed to think that if they want. If they need to eat meat and they choose to, and they hunt 3 to 4 large animals who have lived a life in the wild, and then they eat their vegetables from a garden, and they contribute zero to grocery stores or the industrial food system, which is essentially the whole reason why the environment is screwed and that animals are being exploited, is because of agriculture, animals that are bred into this world in order to be killed so that people can eat their meat, plus the industrial grain and soy and whatever industry. We want more wild land. We want less agriculture. This is vegans and meat eaters. We want to take these big monoculture farms, corn, soy, and wheat farms, which, by the way, the vast majority, about 60% of plant agriculture in the United States goes to feeding animals in factory farms. So really, when you see all that bad plant agriculture that these carnivores are saying are killing mice and there's bykill, which of course there might be some of that, most of that is not going to vegans who are eating corn. It's going to people eating meat, or to ethanol for gasoline, or to processed food. A very small portion of the plant agriculture that's going on goes to vegans, and a vegan diet uses so much less water and land. It's just so much more sustainable. So let's say that getting as rid of as much agriculture as possible is the goal. I said to Ryan, do you think that a diet of hunting a few 3 to 4 wild animals per year and then having a veggie garden is more ethical for animals and more sustainable for the environment than a vegan grocery store diet where you're eating commercial grains and bananas that have been transported all over the world, and Ben & Jerry's ice cream and things with palm oil? And Ryan said that he thinks an industrial food vegan diet is more ethical and sustainable than someone who is hunting a few animals per year and having a veggie garden. And I don't know what else to say, Ryan, except for the fact that you're wrong, that there is more CO2 emissions and animals killed in an industrial food diet than a diet of 3 to 4 hunted wild animals per year and having a veggie garden and buying 0 things from the grocery store. Now, if anyone disagrees with me, comment in the stream, but you can't. It's just a fact. So there is a pathway to people, for some people, to eat meat that is even better than a vegan diet. Now, what is that attainable for most people? No, because pretty much no one in this stream eats that way. Everyone is eating at a grocery store. And so a vegan plant-based grocery store food is almost 100% of the time more sustainable and ethical than meat from a grocery store.
Okay,
but,
Jackson, are you talking about an actual real person, or are you making up a
real person,
imaginary?
I'm just talking about a human being who lives somewhere.
A person with a name and address, a social security number, or are you making up an imaginary human?
I'm making up a hypothetical situation, which is very doable and practical in my mind, of someone who happens to live out in the country and shoots 3 or 4 deer in the wild and grows some lettuce and eats a mainly carnivore diet off of their 3 to 4 kills, and then they don't have to contribute to the industrial food system.
Real world example of this person living in Alaska, because I've met many. I know people who live in Alaska who are vegan. Do you have a problem with that, or would you rather that those vegans go out and kill the magnificent creatures living in the wild?
Ryan, Ryan, veganism is all about saying we're not speciesist, and we're just talking about every life is important. So do you think that animals get killed in the process of growing a banana in Ecuador from that moment of that industrial farm all the way to the pesticides that were involved in that farm, to harvesting it, to putting it on trucks and boats and driving and shipping all over the world, and then getting that banana to you? I can see a pathway where some animals, such as birds or animals in that jungle, are exploited in the process. That makes sense to me as a vegan, and that's why veganism is not about being perfect. It's about doing the best you can and reducing harm. So if there was someone in Alaska, I'm going to answer you.
Stop. You're going all over the place, bro. So you're saying when I go to my farmer's market, which I go to virtually every Sunday, every season of the year, like, 51 weeks out of the year. So when I buy my strawberries, when I buy my potatoes, animals are being mauled up. They're being killed.
No, because Ryan, I'm saying the industrial food system. I'm talking about a grocery store diet. If you are a vegan who grows some food and goes to a farmer's market and gets as local as possible, that is so much better. But on behalf of veganism, literally, I think I have to say, which is crazy to me, I support the person who kills a moose and a deer per year and is a carnivore and only eats that moose and that deer for the whole year versus someone in Alaska who is eating vegan Ben & Jerry's and rice and bananas. Because in my mind, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll be the first to change that, there's literally more animals being killed in a vegan industrial food diet in Alaska than someone who's a carnivore who kills 2 sentient beings per year. How can you disagree with that?
It depends on what they're eating, bro. It really,
I just told you what they're eating. They're eating rice, beans, bananas. Once a week, they're eating some vegan cookies.
Okay, and also, too, here's the thing. There's a difference between intentional killing and accidental killing, because vegans drive cars, and sometimes, I mean, every day.
Not me.
Okay, yeah, you're a special case, but I'm saying vegans drive, and you've driven a car. I'm saying,
yes.
The creatures get hit. Sometimes, I'm not saying it happens to me, but I see squirrels and cats run down the street and they get hit. So what I'm saying is accidents happen. Accidents happen.
Yes.
People get killed every day out on the street. People get killed by cars. So you're saying that the trucks that haul bananas kill a rodent on
a couple animals.
You can kill a rodent just driving outside your front street. I'm not sure.
Absolutely.
Veganism is not an idea about perfection. We know things will happen. Accidents will happen. People get killed every day. Animals get killed accidentally every day, just like people accidentally get killed every day. So it's not about perfection. This whole idea of a perfect lifestyle, just blow that out of your mind. Just because there's some unintended deaths in the world doesn't negate veganism, unintended deaths for animals or humans. I mean, I thought you were going to bring up a second there the dreaded, much debunked combine harvester argument. I'm glad you didn't go there. That's got to be the
Ryan. Okay, okay. I'm just going to say this is taking a weird turn because you and I are on the same team, dude. I'm making an argument that all about harming less animals. Like, don't think
Joe Rogan is thrown out.
Dude, okay, again, you need to answer me. You have to say yes or no. Is an industrial food diet of someone living in Alaska who is eating rice, beans, bananas, and the occasional Ben & Jerry's ice cream? Dude.
Ethically, philosophically?
Listen, ethically for the animals. Okay, dude, my question is very simple and you're deflecting it.
No, I don't know you meant better. Better is
listen.
Better, define better.
Calm down. For the animals, for reducing harm to animals, which is what vegans are trying to do, like you and I, reducing harm to animals. And I can't believe I'm the one having to argue this, but I am. For the animals and for CO2 emissions, for reducing your yearly carbon footprint as a parasitic human, which we all are. And we're doing our best to be as sustainable as we can, but we drive cars and we buy industrial food and all these things that are bad for the environment. So for the ethics of reducing harm of animals and for reducing your carbon footprint, do you think, Ryan, that an industrial food diet of rice, beans, lentils, carrots, bananas, and the occasional vegan ice cream from your grocery store in Alaska is more vegan friendly than a dude who hunts 2 sentient beings per year and grows spinach and is a carnivore?
Well, and I'm sure that
what diet is more vegan?
Hypothetical Alaskan person living in the wilderness, I'm sure rides a ball.
Okay, purely hypothetical.
Yeah. He sounds like some kind of freak living out in the woods that produces pretty much like
you're getting away from the argument because you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right.
No, you're wrong. Here's the answer to your question. You cannot deny this. A vegan diet is way more environmentally friendly on all levels.
If you're buying industrial food, yes.
Compare that to some freak living in a jungle or in the wilderness that rides a bobsled and lives.
I agree, but you're getting away from admitting that there is a way to have a better diet than a vegan diet if you were a weirdo living out and
Jackson, I let you have 10 minutes and everyone's complaining, let Ryan talk, and Ryan's going to talk now. You're constructed a complete extreme example of someone who produces.
Yes, it is extreme. It's just a hypothetical thought experiment.
No one can do that. And let me just tell you.
I agree. That's what I say in my videos. You're like painting me as this like ex-vegan. Dude, I say this in my videos all the time. No one actually does that. So if you're shopping from a grocery store, it's 100% more sustainable to eat plants. It's like you're literally arguing with something that you have in your head right now, Ryan, versus who I actually am. It's crazy.
No,
but let's get back.
No, here's what I'm upset about, Jack. You're trying to again. You're saying, Ryan, answer me, yes or no. What is better, the guy who lives in the wilderness by himself, or someone who lives in Alaska and buys vegan food?
Be honest. I'm trying to be open-minded as a vegan and not sound crazy to these carnivores and say that I can see a path that if you are a crazy dude, as you say, crazy, but I've met really cool people up in Alaska who live pretty rural lives. But I'm saying that it doesn't even have to be in Alaska. If you have
Let's do it in California, Jackson. Like say Los Angeles, the population in Los Angeles.
Okay, be vegan. If you live in Los Angeles, 100% vegan.
We have 4 million people living in Los Angeles. So if we wanted to have those people,
I have not eaten eggs. People are saying that I've eaten animal products. I have not eaten any animal products.
Jackson, stop. I'm going. If these guys and if we here in like Los Angeles, the 4 million need to go out into the wilderness to hunt, the California deer population for the entire state. Remember, there's 4 million Los Angelinos. There's only about 500,000 deer. So if we wanted to get bear involved too, there's maybe 30 to 40,000 black bear. I'm just going. It's just completely.
Ryan, I've said a million times in my videos that if everyone hunted meat, there'd be no more wild animals. This is a hypothetical thing. We're on the same team, man.
I'm just saying, Jackson, this beautiful idea you have, it's not that beautiful killing animals anyway, but this idea of a zero emission person is awesome. But for us living here in the real world of Los Angeles, there's simply not enough animals for people.
Dude, I say what you just said in my videos all the time. You're debating with someone who's in your head. You're not actually listening to me and debating. I say what you just said all the time. We are literally talking about the same thing, and you're trying to like pin me as advocating that people go live in Alaska and eat animals, and it's simply not the truth. You're really debating with an idea. I'm the one who's saying all the things that you have just said. I promise, man. I am being very logical here. All I'm saying is, okay, so let's get back to what we're really talking about, which is it wrong for vegans to try, if you've been vegan for 5 or so years and you're listening to certain influencing and friends saying there's a chance that you're kind of clouded in your vegan diet and that you can feel even better and more optimal introducing animal products into your diet. That it's just a fact. That is something that some people are saying, and some of these people, as we said, are very untrustworthy and have lied. Like I pointed out some lies and crazy stances that Drew Morg has had, but I also don't think he's a demon. I don't think he's an evil person. I think he's someone who said, hey, science may say one thing for longevity, but I feel like shit and I can't go on doing this, so I'm going to try something different, and I honor and respect him. After you feel like crap trying something different, why would we not try to make ourselves feel better? Okay. And these people did it, and they saw benefits in eating animal products, and it's happening.
I don't know who these people are. I don't know. I'm not friends with.
They're people who message me. They're people who are not YouTubers. They're normal people in the world who are messaging me.
Jobson, just pitch it on me. I don't care how these weird raw fasting people are. Tell me, convince me. You're the one trying to sell me on the idea, sort of. Just tell me. What would happen? Not say I'm going to do this, but try to convince me. Why should I stop being vegan? Maybe for 30 days. What are these benefits that may happen to me? I'm just curious.
Here is my answer, and this is what I've stated the entire time. Oh, can you still hear me? My headphones went out, so I'm
Yeah,
on my computer
I hear
mic.
you fine.
Okay, so here's what I've been saying the whole time, and I'm consistent on this. So don't say that I'm changing or that I'm lying. I have no idea what I will feel differently, what benefits I could feel differently. I have no idea. That's the whole point of science and experimentation is I've been vegan for a long period of time. So look, I ate animal products for the first 19 years of my life. I went vegetarian at 14 and I went vegan at 19. I've contributed a ton to animal suffering. I'm living out here in Central America. I see in these communities people who I live with who have hens running around their property and they collect their eggs and they even kill one of their chickens maybe per week, which for me I find is unethical and unnecessary because these people have access to mangoes, bananas, all this local vegan food that's what I live off out here. But for the benefit of the YouTube community who has been watching my videos and commenting my videos, Jackson, don't advocate 100% vegan diet for everyone because I was vegan for 4 years and I slowly got worse and worse health and then I tried animal products and I got better. These are not only people who are YouTube stars, these are also average people, and my response to them always is I don't know what to say because I feel amazing still as a vegan and I perform so well. So I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but I'm also unlike you. I don't think they're evil people. I don't think they're paid off by the meat industry. I think that there's potentially, I'm starting to open my mind, and maybe that there is a pathway that some people need a small amount of animal products. I haven't been proven of that, which is why I thought as an experiment, if I can be out here and I've contributed to animal suffering for 19 years of my life,
All right,
and
here,
out here
Jackson,
out here I can get completely wild eggs. Why not for
yourself,
30 days just
Jackson,
try it to see
check
what
this out.
happens because I don't know what would happen.
What do you think?
Is that not reasonable?
What do you think of this question from Ask Yourself? It has an interesting philosophical implication related to what you're saying. Would Jackson support adding human meat to your diet despite the ethical issues and lack of health evidence for its benefits?
Okay, let's see. So in my video, I was thinking, let's say I agreed to this and I would eat meat for 30 days. I would take a chicken and I would literally kill it myself and even show it on YouTube, which, by the way, I think would be amazing for the vegan movement because it would show people what it really takes. To get your animal products. I disagree. I think there's too many people who eat meat who don't know what it really takes. So I think people watching me actually kill an animal in order to eat chicken would give them some more thought as to if they want to go buy that chicken. Because I have killed a chicken before when I was 19 years old. In between being vegetarian and vegan, I killed a chicken for the 3 or 4 month period that I stop my vegetarianism. And after that experience, I became vegan because I realized that was so unnecessary to do that. It felt wrong emotionally. And that's why I went vegan, because I actually learned what it takes. So let's talk about the
hang on you avoided Ask Yourself's question.
No, I'm getting to it. You just stopped me from talking. I'm getting to it.
Try to be a little more direct.
Of course, I wouldn't do that simply because it's crazy and illegal and shit like that. But do I think that a human life is no? Yeah, I agree. That's a great point from that person. But it's also I think eating some eggs from wild local chickens here who are running around and trying it for a 30-day YouTube experience and then going back to veganism if I feel either just as good or worse, going back to veganism, I don't think that eating a few local eggs is the same thing as killing a human being and eating that for my thought experiment.
What magical nutrients are in eggs that you can't get from a plant-based diet?
Dude, there are none, and that's why I've been advocating on my YouTube channel for a plant-based diet and that all these carnivores are putting out pseudoscience. But there's just too many people that are messaging me and saying that you're just a tribal vegan, Jackson. You need to try it for yourself. So I thought maybe it'd be cool to raise a few $1,000s for animal sanctuaries and try it for myself. Let's really talk about the exploitation.
Jackson, you're just letting them get in your head. I mean, people say all sorts of crap to me all the time, particularly people people who have an agenda against veganism, an agenda against me, they'll say stuff like that too. Like, oh, if you only ate meat, you would be a better whatever, jump higher, run faster, blah, 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 more muscle, all this. They'll just say that, you know? I mean, they don't have any science to back up what they're saying. And I'm surprised you kind of took their bait on that, you know,
I
given
have not taken bait because I have not done it. And a lot of it was even my idea. Drew and I were just talking back and forth, and he kept saying to me, dude, you got to at least try eating some meat. See if it like turns on your mental cognition even better, all this stuff. And I'm like, there's no way, and there's no, like, how could that happen? And he's saying, dude, I thought that too. And then I tried it, and I'm watching Elise's videos, and she's saying, I thought that too. And look what happened. So
stop, Jackson. I covered Elisa's video in detail, and her video, her story she gave is completely bogus. She talked about how the first time she came back from Y, she had mold issues, and most of the symptoms cleared up. And she said like in a day or two that she went back to Y, got the mold issues, came back, and instead of waiting a day or two, she ate salmon. And guess what? Her issues cleared up in a day or two. Same thing. I'm not buying her story whatsoever. I think hers is probably one of the weakest ones I've heard. You know, I mean, if you're using her as an example,
so let me ask you.
Yeah, I mean, she was just cured from getting away from Hawaii.
So Elise had objective health issues. She had congestion in her head. She had brain fog. She had no sex drive. She had objective health issues that
Did she do long-term raw food dieting? Yes. And did she do long-term?
No, she hiked the Appalachian Trail like 2 years ago and ate Cliff Bars and veggie burgers and ate normal food.
I know, but I'm saying in her past, does she have a history of fasting and raw food dieting?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
So you really think that is going to give you, after like 2 years or a year after you haven't done that and you've been eating a normal vegan diet, you think that's going to give you congestion and brain fog?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's issues that you that might not manifest.
Look, it is very
why is everyone that quit veganism, pretty much like 98% of them have this in common: long-term.
I agree. Ryan, we agree. I've made those points on my channel. Here's what I'm saying, and let's get involved with the chat.
We've been them up. It wasn't eating plants. It was doing these crazy.
400 people watching. I want to hear. I want to hear people's response. So, guys, if you're new to the chat, this is essentially what we're arguing. I have been open to the idea as a 6.5-year passionate, ethical, and health and environmental focused vegan who has gotten great results. I've been influenced, and I'll admit that, by these ex-vegans and carnivores who say, Jackson, what if you ate some animal products instead of eating 100% vegan and you experienced beneficial results? What if, just in a foreign land, there's a pathway that your health, Jackson, would be improved with 10% of calories or so from animal products? Just what if? And as a 6.5-year vegan, I don't know what the impacts of animal products would be on my diet because I haven't experienced them. So, as someone who has not contributed to animal agriculture in any way in the last 6.5 years and who intends on being vegan for the rest of my life, would it, for me, for my selfish personal health reason, would it really be a disastrous catastrophe for the animals if for 30 days out of the last 6.5 years, I ate some local eggs and local animal products as an experiment on my unique personal body to see how I felt differently? And if I felt the same or worse, I'd go back to being vegan for the rest of my life and I don't need to do the experience ever again. And if I felt better, I could think about if I wanted to change my diet. Do you think that vegans should not be allowed to, after 5 or so years, try an experiment like that? Honestly, I'll be totally honest. I think that any vegan who wants to try that has the right to try that and to source it from the most ethical and local ways as possible. That doesn't mean going to Whole Foods and getting a Whole Foods certified free range thing, because there's been way too many videos showing that free range my friends have gone into free range, organic, whole food certified turkey farms around Thanksgiving, and that shit looks like a factory farm. I mean, literally going out to a local farmer, buying a chicken who's lived a great life in a pasture, killing it yourself so that you can feel the impacts of what it is to kill an animal instead of contributing to the animal agriculture industrial industry, and getting some local eggs. And for a month, maybe you take one chicken's life and then you get a few local chicken eggs as a 30-day experiment to see if your body changes, and then if you feel the same or worse going back to veganism. Do you really think that that's bad? I think that's completely reasonable.
I don't know.
And now in the chat, just do a thumbs up or a thumbs down. A thumbs up says that's reasonable for a vegan to just try that for 30 days after being 5 years vegan, and a thumbs down means you should not try it. And if you've gone vegan, you should be vegan for the rest of your life, regardless of just like anything, instead of doing just an experiment.
Hey, Jackson,
thumbs up or thumbs down.
Jackson, I want to, bro. I do love you, man. You are a friend. I care a lot about you. I kind of look at you as like a almost like a son I never had or something like that. But I really think this is
a lot of thumbs down, by the way. People are not agreeing with me.
It's a really bad idea, particularly, I mean, even in the case of people that are supposedly having health problems from all their woo-woo fringe dieting, but for someone like you who is, I see a beautiful young man, you're thriving, you're healthy as F, you're just this, you're just doing so fabulous. I just see it absolutely a needless experiment, one that does not need to be done. I'm not saying it's justified 100% for people who have health issues, but it's 100% not justified for someone who is thriving, healthy, kicking ass, doing it right, but has this weird kind of sort of scientific kind of curiosity. It doesn't justify needlessly harming and killing animals to try some kind of, and I use this word non-judgmentally, like this, you use the word too, selfishly experimenting. I just can't justify the needless killing, and I just
that's what this conversation is about, because I haven't done that yet, guys. I have
not. I really don't want you to.
I
care a lot about you, and I really think you will have some regrets in the long term. You'll look back and go, "Man, what the hell was I thinking? I shouldn't have been."
I disagree. So this is a great conversation. So I completely disagree with that. I think if I killed a chicken and bought some local eggs, and I felt just the same or worse after 30 days, and I went right back to going vegan, I wouldn't feel bad at all. I would feel a tiny bit bad, but I wouldn't regret it, because I ate animal products for the first 19 years of my life, and I'm getting influenced by so many people who are saying, dude, you got to try it. I was vegan for a long time. I thought I was good, or I had health issues, and I ate animal products, and my body really changed. And it's been really interesting of me thinking about what it means to be vegan, and if it's fully healthy, and if I should do it 100%. I think I would consider it a 30-day experiment, and if I felt the same or worse, I'd go back to being vegan for the rest of my life. So I think in this world where, as you said, you are killing maybe some birds, or maybe you hit a animal in your car, or you buy an industrial food from the industrial food system, which definitely has some exploitation of animals. Being vegan doesn't mean that you're contributing to zero animal cruelty. And guess what? After this trip, I am literally 100% sure, not 99% sure, I am going to be buying land in Central America so that I can live on a veganic farm and not contribute to the industrial food system, and grow fruits and vegetables so that I can be even more ethical and sustainable than when I was living in a city, because it's that important to me. I'm not bullshitting here. I'm just saying, considering that industrial food has some CO2 greenhouse gas emission and ethical from killing some animals in the process, because it's industrial, it can't be as good as organic or local. Considering that even in my diet, a vegan diet of traveling and buying industrial rice and beans and all that stuff, some animals are probably being exploited. So if I kept my normal diet, plus killed one more innocent being, a chicken, and got some local eggs in order to do an experiment on YouTube for thousands of people to see, and hopefully the results will be that I remain vegan afterwards, I could have so much more weight in talking to these carnivores who keep on saying, Maggie's so pissed that I'm not paying attention to her. I could have so much more weight to these carnivores who say, Jackson, you're deluded. You don't know what it's like to eat animal products. You're too tribal. I'm trying to be like the rational vegan and saying, I'll even take up your advice and try it with the hopes that I go right back to my diet because I feel best. And then I will have so much more weight in order to fight these people and to argue that, no, I tried it and it was worse or it was just as good and I'm going back to being 100% vegan. I just don't think we should shame people, or it's even a bad idea if you've been vegan 5+ years and you have any questioning that you could have some better health by including a small amount of animal products, which could be as simple as having some backyard, completely free-range chickens and collecting their eggs and eating them a couple times a week, which is a very hard argument for the ethics. It is unethical if you go buy chickens from your local chicken distributor who are grinding the male chicks alive. It's absolutely more ethical to be vegan and to be plant-based, but I don't think that you should shame people who are experiencing some health issues or who are simply curious, like I am, if their health could even be improved by including some animal products just because they've been influenced by their carnivore friends, and doing a 30-day experiment where you buy a chicken or, kill one chicken. And also I want people, if they want to try this, don't go out and buy it from a grocery store. Do it with your own hands so that you can feel what it's like to kill an animal. And that's going to influence your decision if you keep wanting to eat meat. I'm all about the facts. I'm all about reality, not living with your head in the sand.
That's a long ramble there, Jackson. What I'm hearing is that you have carnivore friends.
And trying something different to see.
You shouldn't, first of all, shouldn't listen to carnivore friends because their diet is completely not based in science. I've yet to see any study that says anything about the positive benefits of a carnivore study. Their diet.
They keep on saying there are studies. That's why this is so hard.
No science. It's all personal anecdotes, and their leader has the testosterone of 100-year-old women. And God, it got me sidetracked right there. And their diet is completely lacking in morality and ethics. Just killing animals is what it's all about. So I'm saying is, don't give in to people like that whispering in your ear. They're already coming from
it's not giving in. It's just coming from a
scientific place. And that, from what I can tell from all the, I mean, I'm sure there are some great carnivore people out there who can not lie, but pretty much 95% of the carnivores I respond to are compulsive liars. They just make crap up. We even saw Bobby come on twice in the comments here and just lie more and more and just do personal.
Yeah, maybe I've been giving them too much of the benefit of the
Baker make ad hominem and personal attack videos against me, Mike the Vegan. Nothing about science or fact, just saying, look at him, he can't deadlift 500 pounds. My diet has the results. That's what it's all about, the results. It depends what you're talking about. There's, that's what he trains for. I'd like to see him, run a half marathon or play some hoops. I'm just saying, don't listen to these carnivore people. Don't let them get in your ear and influence you. Listen to the vegans.
That's a really good point. I might be too influenced by them. There's definitely a chance of that. Because I can
hear them, and to me it's just blah blah blah. Because what they're saying is, oh, you look weak, and carnivore diet's better, and just a bunch of crap. I'm not seeing any science. And then I really don't care, because their diet is just all involves killing animals, which is the antithesis of veganism, completely against our morals.
This is where, and I just moved into my little
and a lot of people are saying in the chat too, if you're a viewer of Ask Yourself, the name that trait argument. Like, I'm probably not going to articulate it as well as him and the followers here say, but basically, like, what is the trait that's in an animal product? That I might screw this up, guys. What's distinct about an animal products that we're not getting in a vegan diet?
There are no traits. There are no traits in the science that show that this egg or this fish is going to make you feel better. We agree with that. So let's stop having a stupid debate where we agree with the same thing.
Okay, so I had to ask that for the people in the comments who keep asking, name that trait, name that trait. I just want to make sure
Ryan and I both agree Ryan and I both agree there is no documented trait in an animal product that is going to increase your health that you can't find in plants.
Then
Let's
why
stop
eat
being.
it? There's no point. Unless you want to do this weird 30-day
This is what I'm
experiment that's
saying.
put in your head by the carnivore friends of yours. And it's
Here's
all
the
going to end up in like some poor chicken getting killed on YouTube, and it's going to be horrific. Your vegan followers are not going to be stoked at all. I just don't want you to do something really, Jackson, that's going to kill many animals needlessly, and something you'll probably look back on with regret, not only for the morality of it or the immorality of it, but just like, God, I just kind of killed my vegan following, basically. You know, because you're doing a great service. You're doing great stuff, riding your bike across the world. This is awesome. You're doing amazing stuff, showing vegans can ride, hundreds of miles, thousands of miles in your case. And I want you to be what you are. I wanted you to continue what you have been, a great, solid vegan ambassador, Jackson. And I think this is a huge mistake into that quest.
Yes. So here's the crux of, I think, my and your difference. I think there's a couple, because we agree on 99% of the same things, Ryan. Hope you remember that, even though we're in a heated debate, that a plant-based diet and a vegan lifestyle and ideology, especially if you live in a city and aren't growing 100% of your own food, is 100% factually healthier, more sustainable, and more ethical. Can we agree on that?
Okay, I didn't hear the whole proposition.
Okay, let me say it again. Let me say it again and listen to me instead of the chat.
Ask yourself was interested in joining in on the chat.
Okay, but I need to, Ryan. Can you stay with me for a
second?
I'll
stay with you for a second. I'll see if I can get you in. Ask yourself. I might need your email or your chat phone. Anyway,
Ryan,
what is the proposition there, Jack?
I think it's important now that we've been debating for so long to kind of rein in our differences and our similarities.
Try to be succinct here. You have a way of like kind of expanding more than necessary, but try to be succinct to the point.
You're right. I have a big problem in these debates with talking too long and talking over people. I have a big problem. I definitely do that. So what we agree on is that if you're a normal human in 2019 and you don't grow 100% of your own food and you shop at farmers markets and the grocery store, etc., that a vegan diet and lifestyle is much more healthy, ethical, and sustainable for the planet. Do we agree?
Yeah. 100.
Yeah, so we both agree on that. So I hope all these trolls in the comments saying Jackson's terrible for the vegan movement stop, because that's all I've been advocating for the last 5 years on my channel.
Yeah,
we both agree on that.
I love that.
Where we disagree is that I am giving more benefit of the doubt to these carnivores, whereas you are completely, dude, because science and nutrition is complicated, and I listen.
Have neither or nutrition to back up their claims, other than anecdotes of like deadlifting.
So people like my friend Jackson Long, who has far more nutritional credentials than you or I, and a lot of people that I read studies from and get information from on the internet, who say that bodies are slightly different body to body, whereas there is probably a general human diet that is optimal, but there might be some variation to person. And then I get all these messages from people who say, Jackson, you can't be so hard on the carnivore or eating some meat, because I tried vegan for 3 or 4 years and this and this and this bad happened, and I introduced a couple eggs a week and I saw benefits. So I'm getting influenced by people
why am I getting these messages, Jackson?
Disregard, and I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that there might be. I'm trying to be open-minded. I'm not trying to be a tribal, unscientific person, and I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt and saying, wouldn't it be interesting for a very successful vegan like myself to do a 30-day experiment, whereas I contributed to animal agriculture for the first 19 years of my life, and I don't drive a car, and I live a very sustainable, low-impact lifestyle. Would it really be the worst thing to, for 30 days as an experiment, to see what would happen as a successful vegan who did include a couple eggs per week? I think that that's an interesting experiment for, honestly, even for the animals, because if the result is that I feel worse or just the same, I would have so much more weight in being able to talk to these carnivores who can kind of just, and by the way, you say, let's stop listening to the carnivores, they don't mean anything. You mentioned Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is the #1 media source in the entire planet, bigger than anything. And he's advocating for this diet and influencing so many millions of people. So wouldn't it be interesting if a vegan could say, hey, I was vegan for this long. I introduced animal products, which you say will just turn on your mind and brain and whatever. And guess what? It didn't happen. I felt worse or the same. I would actually want those credentials as a vegan advocate versus someone like you who wouldn't have that claim to make, and just to say, yeah, I've been vegan all this time, but I don't know what it's like to introduce animal products. I think that that is reasonable. All right.
Well, I guess
Should
you're
we?
gonna have a different demographic makeup in your
But I'm
following.
probably not going to do it, by the way. And I
Speak to the
haven't.
carnivores and tell them, hey, look, carnivores, I did some meat, and I'll tell you my results. They'll be listen to you, I guess. But yeah, I'm afraid your vegan followers are not going to be too stoked about your unnecessary experiment there.
And again, by the way,
ask yourself, send me a DM on Twitter if you want. I looked on my messages, I didn't see one, and I'm checking my wall now. So if you want to contact me, ask yourself, try to send me a DM. Okay, but I think right.
Let's answer some more questions in the chat. I think we've debated a lot. I think we kind of get our stance. Like, we agree on everything, essentially. We want a vegan world. We want best for the animals, best for the environment. I'm just open to breaking my veganism for 30 days if it means that I can do an experiment, seeing the results for 30 days after being 6.5 years vegan. And you think that there's just no reason to test that, and that's fine. And by the way, I haven't eaten animal products. Everyone, some people are saying, I bet Jackson's tried some eggs. I swear on Maggie's life, and if you watch my channel,
I believe you, Jackson.
I have not eaten animal products in the last 6.5 years, and I don't want to, or anything like that.
Veggies for Thought brings up this interesting point. There are plenty of people, I'm assuming vegan, who have accidentally eaten egg/meat, and they didn't feel any different. There are vegetarians. Why try it yourself? He asks.
It's a great point. It's a great point. Again, and my answer to that, because you asked me the question, is I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to my viewers who support me, who have been messaging me and saying, hey, Jackson, I was vegan for this time. I got health issues. I tried eating eggs or fish, and I very quickly saw benefits. And now I'm including them a couple times in my diet. So that is why I'm just open to, like, I'm giving these ex-vegans a benefit of the doubt that they're not just lying, evil people. And kind of your stance, and I think Ryan's stance, is that like anyone who's eating any form of animal products is just like lying and unscientific. And that's just a slight difference we have.
All right, cool. So if you want to see if there's any questions.
I'm sure there's a lot more questions that we can scroll through.
You want to take one? I just took that last one.
Okay, I'll look. And yeah, so let's start talking about some things that we definitely agree on as we're looking for questions.
Okay, ask yourself. I just sent you a message on your Twitter to DM me there, so there you are. All right, would you want to ask? Want to take a question from Ask Yourself? He was trying to say some stuff in the chat. It just kind of totally got drowned out. It's your call, Jackson, if you want to go down that road or not. I'll let you decide.
Yeah. Again, if someone asks a question and we catch it, just stop me and we'll answer the question.
No, he wanted to hop on here. He said he's ready to go.
Okay, someone said, are you doing this for attention? I'd like to answer that.
Me or him?
No, someone's saying, do I want to try this for attention? Someone asked me in the chat.
I can answer that for you, Jackson. I know Jackson really well. I don't think no. He's a curious boy, but I don't think he's doing this for attention.
Yeah, guys, I legitimately right now make like $100 a month on my YouTube channel, and I make like $400 on Patreon. I make money now in other ways. I tattoo people. I trade cryptocurrencies. YouTube is not something that I'm focusing on anymore to make money or even grow my following huge, I would love it, because I think I'm promoting the vegan message and I want people to look at my channel and my message, but I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing this because I've been really influenced by my followers, some followers who have messaged me and saying there's maybe a way that including a little animal products in the diet is actually better for humans. And I am being open-minded, and instead of calling those people evil or wrong, giving them the benefit of the doubt. And I was open to, if I raised a few $1,000s for animal sanctuaries for trying a 30-day experiment, that is all, is not for attention. All right, ask
yourself here, and he promised to be very friendly and cool. So let's ask yourself.
You get that we're all on the same page.
You got to be friendly. It's the Happy Healthy Vegan stream. I can't be swearing on here.
It's probably one of the more heated debates that we got in Happy Healthy Vegan, but we're managing to keep it really friendly because I respect Jackson. I think he's a great guy. I'm just trying to.
We're all vegans here. We're all vegans.
Yeah. When I start screaming and yelling, you can just kick me. No, I'm just kidding. Also, I've not talked to you before, Ryan. So great to meet you. I like what you do. And I don't really know your stuff well, Jackson, but I'm glad for whatever you're also doing in the movement. So my problem is your position is just flat out contradictory, right? So you said that there's no trait. So it's not okay to try adding humans to your diet, but it is okay to try adding animals to your diet. And there's no trait true of animals that, if true of humans, would justify adding them to your diet, according to you. You said there's no trait. So that position is just going to turn out being a flat out contradiction. Because if you were to equalize all of the traits of the human to the animal, presumably it would take on the trait of being something that you could add to your diet, right? But you're saying that you can't add the animal to your diet. So you're simultaneously saying that we can and can't add the animal to our diet.
Okay, I think I understand what you said.
We can go piece by piece, yeah.
Okay. So the reason that I'd be more inclined to try eggs and fish for a 30-day, hopefully vegan promoting experiment on YouTube as a vegan influencer in this carnivore scene, the reason I'd be more open to trying some eggs and fish versus a human is because there is a very speciesist paradigm in our culture, and it is much more societally reasonable to buy an egg from a local El Salvadorian who has a chicken running around than it is for me to kill his son and have a piece of that to eat. If I were to do this experiment, I think it would be much more reasonable in our speciesist world in order to kill a chicken myself versus kill a human. Although, as someone who agrees with the concept that speciesism is wrong, you are correct that I guess if I wasn't afraid of being socially ostracized by all human beings, it is true. There's nothing more valuable in a human being wanting to live versus a chicken wanting to live, because we're just individuals in our own mind who want to be safe. I completely agree with that. I would just do it because we live in a world where I'd probably go to prison if I killed the human. Does that answer that part of the question?
No, I have no idea what your answer is. So here is the question, right? So it sounds kind of like you're naming the trait now. So the question that I have, firstly, is just whether there is a trait on your view or not. So let me just spell that out as carefully as possible. Let me complete my question. Let me complete my question. Yeah. So I'm just asking, first, just give me a yes or no to this, and then I'll follow up with the problem. Okay. So on your view, is there, if right now you're saying it's not okay to try adding human to your diet, it is okay to try adding animal to your diet, right? So I'm asking, wait a second. I'm asking what is true of the animal that, if true of the human, would justify adding them to your diet? So firstly, just is there something or not? Just as a starting point, is there something or not? Is there a trait or no?
Before I answer that, I need to make sure I understand the question, because I shouldn't answer a question before I understand it. So are you essentially asking me a speciesism question? This isn't a nutrition question, correct?
Well, it's weird to even try to categorize it like that. I'll just restate the question as clearly as I can. So the question, well, just one second. Let's just wait 1 second. I'm not like Ryan, right? I'm not like Ryan. I'm going to talk over you if you talk over me. I'll be respectful if you're respectful, right? So the question is just
the question. Shade at me. Ask yourself.
Oh, well, I mean, I mean it in a way that you are nice and patient in a way that I might not be. Okay,
That was
so
a dig
no,
on
so,
me.
so no shade at all to either of you. Okay, so the question is just: is there, on your view, is there anything true of the animal that, if true of the human, would justify adding them to your diet? Just yes or no to that. Not a big paragraph, just yes or no.
I'm a fucking idiot. I don't understand your question, dude.
Okay, so you understand that there's things true of animals and humans. So, for example, it's true of a chicken that it has feathers. It's not true of a human that he or she has feathers.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm asking, is there anything true of the animal that, if it were true of the human, would justify adding them to your diet?
Okay, so are you saying if it was like, I literally still don't understand. Are you saying if it was proven that there were health benefits to eating humans, would I eat the human? Is that what you're saying?
They could be anything.
It's literally, it's like 20 words. I don't know what's so confusing about
I
it.
know,
So
I don't either.
So you're okay. Sorry. I'll try to be very patient and calm and nice. Okay, so you're trying to like classify the question. Like, I don't care if your answer is about nutrition. I don't care if your answer is about ethics.
Okay.
I just want to know if there is a trait. So the question is just, is there anything true of the animal that, if true of the human, would justify adding them to your diet?
Dude, I feel so weird right now in that I don't understand what you're saying, and you need to ask it in a different way. So,
okay, well, it looks a bit to me.
All right, well, let me kind of jump in here. I don't think.
Do you understand his question?
Yeah, I don't think this question's working out in this debate here.
Ryan, answer the question. Do you understand his question?
I think I do. I think he's trying to say, like, you know, like what quality separates a human and animals that makes it justifiable that that one is to be eaten and the other is not.
Is that what you're asking?
Pretty much.
Did I break it down?
That's very close, but just I made it specific to one second. I just want to respond to Ryan. I made it specific to what he's said here, though. So just replace the phrasing of okay to eat with okay to add to your diet. In this context, he's talking about adding them to your diet.
What's the difference between eating to adding to your diet? What's the difference?
Well, you seem to be saying it's not generally okay to eat animals. It's okay to add them to your diet in some specific situation.
I am saying that if you've been doing a diet for 5+ years and that you've been influenced by friends, that there is potentially a more optimal, natural, and healthy human diet, that I think it's reasonable to break down your ethical framework for 30 days in order to selfishly try something for yourself if you trust your friends that there might be a mechanism and pathway that changing your diet, which for me is a fully vegan and plant-based diet, I am open to the idea of surrendering my ethics in order to do a 30-day experiment where I will understand for myself better if I should continue to promote this idea of being 100% vegan than even 90% vegan, because I have a lot of people who are messaging me saying, Jackson, I love what you do, but I was vegan for this amount of years. I eat similar to you. I was experiencing issues. I started eating 2 eggs a week and a piece of salmon, and I got health benefits. Now, should I say to those people, you're a terrible person and you should go back to being vegan and figure out every way you can to do it through veganism? And that is what I probably would say. Not that they're a terrible person, but I would say you should try absolutely everything within veganism before you experiment with eating animal products. But my case is different because I don't have any health issues. I am open to the idea and trusting my carnivore friends that there might be an even elevated level of something within my health, meaning mental clarity, recovery, whatever, which by the way, I don't think would happen, but I'm giving them the benefit of the
Right.
doubt.
I wouldn't,
Right.
Jackson, because none of these former recent vegans, at least the ones I covered, fully experimented with trying all the vegan options possible. Case in point, Ravon,
Yeah,
her vegan gastroenterologist told her to take antibiotics to cure the the infection that she had.
I agree with you. You should try
Okay, wait.
Not to.
Just
And same
one-
with Elise too. She, you know her better than I do. But from her story, like I said, she could have just waited a few days after getting back from Hawaii and Colorado to see her symptoms clear up. And she said, "No, I'll just eat salmon instead." I mean, and if she was deficient in omega-3s, she's never blood tested for anything like that. There are vegan options if you need, if you don't want to do ALA because she said it doesn't convert well in her. And I don't think she ever got tested that. There's vegan options for DHA and already converted long chain. So I'm saying none of these people tried all the vegan options. And what I would do though, if these friends of mine quit being vegan, instead of listening to them, I would just say, okay, you're doing your thing. I disagree with it, and I'm perfectly healthy. Thank the heavens, I don't have any issues you have. Last thing I would be doing though is taking dietary advice from any of them. Like I said,
okay, so I'm not taking dietary advice.
No, you are in the sense that you want to experiment with the food that
we're getting a bit bogged down though. We're getting a bit bogged down because
ask yourself a question.
I just want to say one thing. So just with Ryan, I totally agree with what you just said right there. But that's going to get into a big pragmatic debate about like all the other options and like what exactly these people have done and all their exact situations. The critique I'm putting here is kind of like a principled critique, right? I think his position, if he maintains at least the position that there's no trait, is just flat out contradictory, right? So it's like a philosophical. Wait, please. It's a philosophical critique. It's not. One second. It's a philosophical critique. It's not. I'm not just getting at the empirical, pragmatic data. So. You just said you went on quite a spiel, but the gist of it was you were saying that it is justified to add the animal products to your diet, or that you would do it, right? Or you think it's reasonable. Now, in the case of humans, do you hold that same position? Adding human to your diet?
Well, of course not. That's like you're setting up a question that no one's gonna in their right mind would answer yes to that. So
right.
I know you study philosophy, right? Ask yourself, you're trying to do a reductio ad absurdum.
No. I think it's an interesting.
He's right. I don't study philosophy, but I'm an autodidact. But it is a reductio. But just one sec. So that's the first step, right? Is just establishing that you have different answers in the human and animal context. And then the follow-up is like what Ryan said before, right? Is what is the difference there? There's got to be something that's actually true of the animal that if it were true of the human would cause you to answer in the same way. And if there isn't one, you're just contradicting.
Are you saying like, is chicken flesh the same as human flesh in terms of how it would react in the human body from a health perspective?
Actually, it might. I've read that the most the best available source of
is human flesh. Yeah, for sure, because we could assimilate it better, whatever. I think. Okay, I'm going to try as hard as I can do because I really want to answer your question.
But instead of
don't understand your
question. If it doesn't work this time, we'll have to.
I'll leave if
all day on the name.
But DM me after yourself.
So time.
I fully agree, Ryan. I'll get off after this one, but I just want to be clear so it doesn't turn into, because I notice, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but you have a very different way of thinking than me. Okay, like I like to be formulaic and logical. Ideally, I'd like to actually use a formal logic system to make sure that all my inferences are correct. I care a lot. Wait, please. Well, the way that you talk is this big, expansive bubble of paragraphs, right? So I just want a clear answer of just yes or no. So just with the first part of the question, right? If it were humans, would you say the same thing? Yes or no? And then I have a follow-up, and the follow-up, we can get to that. But if you can't give a clear answer to the first question, I don't think there's anything else.
The question you just asked me is if it were humans. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Are you
okay? Everything you just said about animals, about how you'd add them to your diet. If it were humans being holocausted instead of animals, would you support adding the human to your diet in the exact same way? Just sub out the word animal with human.
You could have literally just asked me. Sorry, you could have asked me. It's just a question.
No, you're conflating two questions now. No, now you're conflating two. This is the setup question to get you to establish that you have different positions with respect to humans and animals on the same issue, then the follow-up question is going to be about name the trait, right? So the follow-up question is going to be to determine if that difference of position is consistent or reduces to a contradiction. This is just the first question. Okay.
A tricky question here. I'm not sure if this is really, going. I'm not saying that that's a good or bad thing. I was wondering we should try to answer some more questions from other people. You don't have to go on if you don't want to.
That's totally your stream. I completely respect that. Yep.
I wanna say one last thing to try my best to answer his question because I think it's interesting, and I also want to state my opinion on speciesism and whatever, and hopefully that will get us closer to answering your question. And if there's any more things, just tell me if I haven't gotten to it.
Okay, but just to remember what the question is. The first question is just yes or no with respect to if it were humans instead of animals, would you support adding them to your diet? Then the second question is, if you say no to that, what is it that's true of the animals that, if true of the humans, would make you say it is okay to add them? So answer both, the yes or no, and then the trait.
Jackson doesn't answer it exactly the way that you asked for there. We'll just accept that and
do the best I can.
Best to answer it.
Sure. Yes. Yep. Totally.
So first off, I don't advocate anybody including human meat or animal meat in their diet, because I believe from an ethical, environmentally sustainable, and health perspective that a plant-based diet is optimal on all of those things. So what I am saying is that if you have been vegan for a certain amount of time and you trust some friends who are saying, hey, I was vegan too, but I tried some animal products and I got these crazy beneficial results, which the science doesn't even show, but oh my God, it just happened to my body. I am saying that there is, and now I'll answer your question, I would not shame or think down on someone who has tried long-term a vegan diet, and whether they're successful or not, adding in and eating, I don't know how else you want me to say it, consuming animal products as a short-term experiment, whether that be human meat, if you can fucking do it, I mean, without getting arrested from a speciesist perspective, killing a human being and killing a chicken in terms of the value of that life, I believe that there is no difference. The only difference we have is a societal construct that humans are just superior and it's illegal to kill humans, and that's not based in ethics or science. I believe that those things are equal, that it is just as immoral to kill a chicken if you don't need to than to kill a human being. And hopefully that answers your question a little bit more. But in the context of it is much, much, much more difficult to get human meat and to kill a human, in this context of doing a 30-day experiment to see if there are certain things in animal products that humans are meant to have and that would increase my bodily function in some way, which I do not believe is the case, and I haven't eaten animal products in 6.5 years. I'm simply giving the benefit of the doubt to these carnivores that even though the science doesn't show it, they're experiencing these things. So I was open as a rational, passionate vegan to seeing what the impact and results were. And it's a lot easier to get a local chicken and to get some local eggs than it is for me to get my hands on a human. But that is contradictory, and it is contradictory in the context of I would be fine with the contradiction of refusing to eat human meat and agreeing to eat a chicken, because I would go to prison if I ate the human meat and I wouldn't go to prison if I ate the chicken. Does that answer it?
Just wrap it up with that. How's that, guys? It'd be cool.
Totally. Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on. No, you didn't answer me at all. I mean, it was very, very confusing. But Ryan, just
a question. It really is. It's a difficult question. It is. But
is it
dropping by? Ask yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And
thanks so much,
we should
Ryan. Ryan, is it okay? Is it okay if I just make a closing statement and leave?
Absolutely.
Is that
Yeah, we just
okay.
stay in touch and do some chats in the future.
Absolutely. Either of you hit me up anytime. Thanks so much for having me on. I hope I was polite enough. And all I want to close out by saying is just like this is the core problem here from my point of view. All of the empirical things Ryan is raising are very interesting too. For me, it's a philosophical thing, though. That's the core. I just don't get this. If the position is that adding animal products to your diet in this context he's talking about doing it is okay, doing the same thing with humans would not be okay, then there's got to be something true of animals that if true of humans would justify it. If there is no such property, please just let me make my statement and I'll get off. Then you can say whatever you want. If there's nothing, just let me make my statement and I'll get off, right? If there's no property, then it's just going to be a contradiction to say it's okay to, so you throw me off my game a little by butting in like that. Just either, we're talking about the situation of adding these products to your diet. You're saying okay for animals, not okay for humans. Now, if that is going to be consistent and not reduced down to a contradiction, it has to be the case that there's something true of animals that if true of humans would justify it for them. I haven't heard you name it. And the only other thing I'll say is that the fact that you're willing to actually support murder just to get an anecdote on the table, so you can say, I have this one piece of anecdotal evidence now that carnivore didn't work. I don't think we need to murder people in order to garner anecdotal evidence. Thank you so much for having me on, and hit me up anytime, either of you.
Oh, see you later. Ask yourself.
I loved that. Excellent point. And now that I know he's not here, but he sounds like a really smart, awesome dude. And I would love to even talk with you and have an interview philosophically like this for my channel. I think it's very fascinating. But to answer the question, towards the end, he definitely was insinuating that I think it's more ethical to kill a chicken than in a human. And he was kind of pinning it as him against me. But no, you're actually wrong, dude. We're actually on the same page. I agree with you that it is inherently a contradiction to say that it would be okay to add the chicken and not the human, meaning there's something different in the chicken's consciousness than the human's consciousness. You, Ryan, and I are all on the same vegan page about that. The only reason why I would definitely not eat the human meat and eat the chicken meat, given that I agree it's an ethical contradiction, is simply because I wouldn't go to fucking prison if I ate the chicken, and I would go to prison if I ate the human. But ethically, we're on the same page, and please DM me. Ask yourself, or whatever your name is, Plantriotic on Instagram, and DM me so that we can set something up.
All right, let's take some questions from, if you want, Jackson, do we see any questions from the general chat? So you can kind of look over and see if anything pops out at you here. Let's see. I saw Foot Soldier popped on. What's up, Foot Soldier?
Jackson wants to go carnist for a month. No, I don't want to. I'm very happy from a health perspective with my vegan lifestyle. I'm extremely happy ethically with eating only plants. I only got the idea to go carnist for a month, if you want to say it like that, which I agree, that's what it would be, because I've been really immersed in this carnivore versus vegan debate, and I honor that people like Joe Rogan, who are on the carnivore line of things, have the way more influence than any of us vegans. And one of the biggest critiques that they have of vegans is that we are closed-minded and we don't know what we are missing, for instance. And Ryan's opinion is just don't listen to those people, completely take them out of your life, don't take their suggestions, don't let them influence you. And I am being
they have an agenda. They totally have an agenda, Jackson. That's why they're not doing this stuff out of altruism.
What is their agenda?
What is their agenda? Is to get you to not be vegan because they are anti-vegans. Why do I categorize?
Why are they anti-vegan?
Not because I'm a
do you think that Joe Rogan thinks that eating meat is healthy? Do you think that Joe Rogan thinks that a vegan diet is deficient and that eating meat is healthier? I think he does.
Yeah, Joe Rogan, first of all, his show is sponsored by a meat company, so there's some agenda there. And secondly, he's, as countless times shown, he gives anti-vegan arguments like the combine harvester, plants have feelings, stuff
very
like that.
Stupid arguments. I agree. I think the crux to our difference is I'm trying to give these carnivores a little bit of the benefit of the doubt and try to prove to them that their ideology is wrong by testing it myself. And you guys are saying just don't listen to them at all and don't test it yourself. That's the difference.
Yeah, because we know they're full of crap. And you know who's going to say, oh, don't be
Dude,
vegan.
I think you're
Killing
never going
plants.
to succeed if you just say people are full of crap. I just there are
I'm
actually
not doing
smart
that as
people
ad
who-
hominem when I say they're full of crap. I'm not attacking them personally. They're full of crap in what they utter from their mouths about veganism. Like your friends Drew and I don't know if you're friends with Bobby. I mean, the whole podcast about I responded to. I only responded to the slanderous attacks against. So it's just all lies. They're just making crap up. I feel they're not even worthy of refutation. These guys are just. It's like
Yeah,
responding to the
difference we
worst
have.
nonsense in the world.
Like, okay, so let me ask you a question, Ryan. Do you think 100% sure that that Drew, Bobby, and Elise could have solved all of their health issues on a different type of vegan diet?
I have no idea. I have no idea what Drew or Bobby went through. All I know is what of those three, what Elise said in that one video that I responded to. And she did solve her same mold issue, like I said, just by coming back to Colorado, a drier climate. And the second time, for instance, she for some reason thought she'd try salmon because she intuited it for some non-scientific reason. Why couldn't she have intuited, oh, I'll just take some algae? I mean, she didn't try that.
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, that would have made her different. We don't know.
If these
And I'm
people,
saying if someone is a vegan and adheres to vegan principles, it's a no-brainer. If I had some health issue and they said, your options are salmon or algae, I wouldn't even think twice. It's just a non-issue.
Me neither. Like, oh my God.
So I'm saying, why should I take the word of someone who's not aligned with my values and went off in some direction of eating meat when they didn't have to? And then she said, oh, then a few weeks later, she's eating grass-fed beef. Like, whoa, I just thought you wanted to solve your mold and brain fog issues.
No, another thing.
Then you're eating the dead cows too. So I'm going, why would you listen? Their stories don't add up. They don't make any sense. Well, that's why I call them anti-vegans and full of crap, because that story makes no friggin' sense if you look at it rationally. And I'm not saying she's a bad person or anything like that. I'm just saying her words, her story is just, under cross-examination, just completely falls apart.
I agree. And I hope you understand too. My hope with this experiment is not because I think they're right. The whole point of the experiment is that I think they're wrong. So the best way to prove that would be to actually, in my mind, would be to test it myself and prove that they're wrong. That's the whole point of what I'm saying.
Jackson, I agree. If you could do that, like say somehow you could separate yourself from this world and do it in some alternate reality, I would say go for it. On paper, in an alternate reality, that sounds awesome. But unfortunately, you can't do that. You have to do that in this world that we're all living in. It just presents just too many issues like that, the ones I've been bringing up the entire time with you. And I'm not sure how much impact they are making upon you, but there's some serious issues involved there. And I'm sure you're grappling with them. That's why you haven't done it yet. And I'm trying to be the rational voice that convinces you to follow through with your
this talk has influenced me massively. Right now, I am way less interested in even entertaining the idea of doing it than before. I will be totally honest.
A scientific experiment, like I said, some kind of scientific experiment where you cross moral and ethical lines and kill and harm animals needlessly. Cool, but unfortunately, there's no way to do your experiment of one on yourself without crossing those lines, and that's where a lot of us vegans. I would say we're like us vegans, like I'm the leader or anything, but a lot of us just have some just are feel saddened by what will follow from that, like especially if you go through that potential plan of killing a chicken online and stuff. It's just some horrific stuff that just really doesn't need to happen. Because I don't want to reiterate it over and over again, but you're super healthy, you're not having all these weird issues that these hardcore faster people have had, and I see what you want to do. You want to prove them wrong, but it just involves crossing too many ethical moral lines in order to get that kind of proof.
So I think that too many vegans think that their diet is perfect ethically, and it's because they're not scientific and they're not being honest with themselves.
No, you're kind of being making a straw man. No, vegans know we're not perfect, and nowhere in the definition of veganism does it say perfect. As much as
I know you understand that, but I think some people in this chat think that growing a potato in your backyard and eating the potato is just as sustainable and ethical as eating a pint of vegan Ben and Jerry's. And we need to understand that the more industrial food that you buy and eat, even if it's vegan, there is a carbon and ethical footprint to the food that we eat. So, like, you kept on saying, these hypothetical Alaskan people is
Back to
a
that
stupid
point of
argument.
vegan Ben and Jerry's, 'cause I'm sure the environmental footprint on vegan Ben and Jerry's is way less because there's no dairy involved. And then here's the thing,
Exactly.
too,
Oh my God! Stop arguing this. Of course, a vegan Ben and Jerry's is better than a dairy Ben and
and
Jerry's. Come on,
I want to go further down that road. I want to say vegan Ben and Jerry's or Nanamu, whatever, are good in their own right because a lot of people come to veganism, but kind of reluctantly because they don't want to give up some of their favorite foods. So if they know, oh, I can be vegan and have still eat ice cream or
Agreed.
so whatever, that gets more
Agreed.
people. Maybe over time they'll stop eating or eat less and less of those vegan, junk foods or whatever you want to call them, processed foods. But I think those foods do need to exist and have their place. And even if just a non-vegan start eating those products, it's going to make an environmental impact. So I don't like setting up a straw man. It's like vegans like eating like environmentally like bad foods when we're on a whole doing much better than non-vegans. And you agree with that? Yeah.
Let me 100%, but let me and like this should be so simple. This should be so simple because it's just a fact. Okay, if you and of course there's so much more context to this, and I agree and live a vegan lifestyle. It seems so weird that I have to be arguing this, but if someone had some backyard chickens, okay, which I think is problematic if you buy the backyard chickens and you buy it from the company and they grind male baby chicks alive, when you buy those chickens, there is an ethical footprint to that, which is unethical. But let's just say in a world where a dude on a farm has some chickens, okay? And that chicken, which can run around completely free and who lives a great life, and I've lived on farms where chickens are beautiful and not exploited. They're not even confined. They just run around and they eat bugs. And that chicken
Are they killed though? Are they killed? If they just let them run around, that's cool. I'm going to go to an animal rescue.
Let's say they are never murdered, and even when they stop producing eggs, they're just pets at that point that just live out their lives.
Okay, that's different from killing a chicken for food.
Wait. Is that I'm talking sustainability right now and ethics. If you lived on a farm and had those chickens and every day those chickens dropped 5 eggs and you ate 200 calories of eggs from those chickens per day, is that less environmentally? Okay, no, we're not talking about health. We're not talking about anything other in real context of the environment and ethics. I want vegans to start agreeing that if you have some backyard chickens and you ate 200 calories of your completely free, happy chicken eggs, that is more sustainable and ethical to the animals than if you ate 200 calories of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, not analyzing a vegan ice cream, not analyzing anything other things in the diet, like maybe they're also eating from McDonald's and all that shit. I'm saying there are pathways where there are ways to get calories from animal products if you do it in these few ethical ways, like you hunt one large game animal per year that can last like a single person a year, and in the context of you literally never buy any other food, like anything from a grocery store, which is like impossible. There's like no one doing that. I'm saying in a thought experiment, if you did that, or if you had some eggs, 200 calories of eggs from your free backyard chickens that you never kill is literally better for the environment than if every day you bought 200 calories of processed vegan food because you had to ship the food there. You had to pour.
Let me stop you right there, Jackson. Let's talk about this hypothetical, beautiful, idyllic chicken farm. Since you can do thought experiments, let me do one too. Let's say we just get rid of that whole chicken farm whatsoever, and just raise it um, put new nutrients in the soil and start growing plants there. That's even more ethical,
That's even
more
better. And I
environmentally
agree.
friendly, more sustainable. So let's just do that. Like, fuck the chicken farm and just plant plants
I
there.
agree, but
There's no need to have a
I'm
chicken
saying,
farm. I'm saying, why
by the way, look
why
at
does
these
the
fucking
hypothetical chicken
people
farm
who
even
put these.
exist in this hypothetical world? This, in my great hypothetical world that's better than that one, I'm going to say wipe out the chicken farm, plant plants.
This is why. This is why, Ryan. Because, by the way, fuck these people for putting birds in cages, motherfuckers. So terrible. So I am saying that in the context, Ryan, that some people think that they need to eat meat and eggs to be healthy. You and I don't agree with that, but I was doing that in the context of people who aren't going to grow plants there, who think they need their eggs, which again we don't agree with, but there's some people we can't change. I mean, do you think you can convince Joe Rogan that he's going to be vegan? So wouldn't you rather Joe Rogan hunt and have his eggs in the backyard
He does
than
hunt.
eat food? Of course you would. But I was just talking that there are, like, even if we're vegan, we should still try to eat as local and eat the least amount of industrial food. And there are, of course, just some ethical issues. It's not a perfect diet, and you agree. There's always going to be an impact if you're growing industrial food. We both agree with that, which is why after this trip, I am going to live on a vegan fruit farm and grow 100% of my food because it's that important to me. And I'm not shaming anyone that lives in cities. It just feels like my right path, and I care so much about that sustainability that I want to be 100% local and 100% vegan.
So let me ask you, like you touched upon Joe Rogan not going vegan. Are you implying or not? I'm not sure. I really didn't understand. Are you saying that somehow, like, your experiment might affect Joe Rogan's opinion about something or another, veganism?
Not Joe Rogan specifically, because he's not going to watch my video.
But
I
say in this hypothetical world, he did see your video. What would Joe Rogan take away from it?
Great question. Thank you. So I think that a person like Joe Rogan, who's like a paleo person, will actually be more inclined to listen to my videos and what I have to say about nutrition and health and sustainability, which is that a diet of 90 to 100% plants is better for the environment, health, and the animals, either 100% or mainly. So I think that if I did this experiment, people like him would actually trust me as an unbiased person, as an unbiased vegan, much, much more. Because one of the real life criticisms I've been getting from these paleo and carnivore people is that I am too diluted in my vegan scene, and I simply don't know what I'm missing out on because I've never tried to include animal products after being vegan. Can you understand why they would want to trust me more if I actually was, to them, open-minded enough to break my veganism in order to try their dietary recommendations and then report on it?
It really depends on person to person. I mean, you get hate comments all the time too. From anti-vegan
Look at
to
my
meat
like
eaters. So it really, I'm saying it
I
really
usually
depends.
have 0 dislikes.
I would say it just really depends on the open-mindedness of the non-vegan that you are speaking to. Some you could do. There's nothing to you could do. There's no way to please some people. Maybe some are more open-minded. Some will follow you. So I'm saying, yeah, you might get a few paleo people that might take what you're saying seriously, but a lot of people just won't care. You're not telling them what they want to hear. If you're
right,
saying that plants are really good to eat.
And maybe that's why it's not worth it for me to do this experiment. I think I can totally admit after this talk that because I've been talking to my buddy Drew every single day for the last couple of weeks, I have been too influenced by him specifically that I'm like illegitimate if I don't try this, or like I'll be way more legitimate if I do try this experiment.
Oh, that's a horrible thing to say. That's a false dichotomy.
I probably have been too influenced by him. Would you agree?
That's what I said at the beginning, because I know that Drew is responsible for getting in the heads of many vegans. Some I know, like Evan and others, like getting them to not be vegan. So I saw him, oh, now he's working his evil magic on Jackson. That's why I said he's like the devil. I didn't mean he's
No,
inherently
you can't
evil.
work evil magic on me. Like, I am literally all about just figuring out the facts and being science-based, which is why I wasn't afraid of doing a 30-day experiment, because I'm not being influenced by anyone. Like, literally, go watch my videos calling out these carnivores as being liars. I don't
know, I
think that
saw
a
it. I thought it
carnivore
was,
diet,
yeah, that's why I
I
thought
don't think that a carnivore diet is
the
healthy.
same, because they're as you
Yeah.
use the words, they're non-scientific. They're just making crap up, as I've pointed out too. So
Well,
therefore, they seem like the last people you'd want to listen to or try to impress in some way. They're just completely, it's a lost case for most of them.
all
They're
right, should we try to answer some more questions? Or Ryan,
science.
Ryan, do you have any more questions for me about anything, about lifestyle, life, any other questions with people in the chat?
Let's see. Let's take a quick peek in the chat here. Oh, okay, vegan foot soldier. That's an interesting question. You can answer that if you want or not, but let's see.
Where is it? Would an amputated human limb from a hospital dumpster?
He's a comedian of sorts too, foot soldiers. You have to understand that.
Oh, he's a meat eater?
No, a comedian. A comedian vegan.
Vegan foot soldier, would he eat an amputated human limb? I would rather in this experiment eat a non-diseased amputated limb from a hospital dumpster than kill a living chicken. 100%. I'd rather eat the limb, because that's way more vegan and I wouldn't have to kill the animal. Yeah, 100%. I'd rather do that.
Honest
100%.
answer there. Good question, foot soldier. It seemed like a crazy ass question, but there's a lot of sense to it.
Oh, he said he ate animal products most of his life and can't say he doesn't know what it's like to feel it. So here's the difference between that. When I was eating animal products my whole life, that wasn't in the context of after having a diet of zero animal products. So what these carnivores are saying, ooh, and that's good. We're getting a bunch more questions, and I want to answer the questions from the chat. What these carnivores are saying is that because for the last 6.5 years, I haven't had any animal protein or dietary cholesterol in my diet, that I am probably depleted on a variety of nutrients.
That's what Bobby's perspective says about me. Yet all my blood results are like, kicking ass for personal.
And the last blood test I did was good too. But again, just in a alternative world of giving them the benefit of the doubt, the reason it's different, and I'm answering this Hunter guy's question, his name is Hunter something. The reason it's different is because I haven't eaten animal products for the last 6 years, which when I was eating animal products growing up, I never had that 6-year period which was void of animal products. Because I've eaten only plants, these carnivores are saying that I might be depleted in certain things, and that introducing them again, I would feel differences. So that's why it's a different experiment than how I was living before, of course.
The whole depletion argument that I heard from Bobby about myself and others is complete BS. There's no science, no studies that say vegans get depleted, particularly vegans who have really great blood tests. And still he makes the bold-faced claim he has been depleted. And then he gives a reason why I'm not depleted, because I was eating meat for most of my life, which I showed I was like, you've been vegan for 8.5 years and pretty much a vegetarian for 10 years before that. So roughly 18 plus years of vegan vegetarian lifestyle, still not depleted. So I'm going, I have to ask the obvious question. So when will this inevitable depletion happen? The question, it's not going to. If so, the American Dietetics Association was stating in their paper, well, we recommend it for all people in all phases of life, but at a certain point though, you'll be depleted. So I'm in a long-winded way, I'm just saying that is just more anti-vegan nonsense. It's not even worth.
I have a question for you, Ryan. I have a question for you.
Okay.
So one of the things that Drew has been saying to me is, he was like, Jackson, when I moved to Hawaii, there were like 25 vegans in our vegan scene. And he said now, a couple years later,
7 are left, right?
There's like only a couple left.
Yeah.
He said,
how many people did he personally get in their ear and tell them to not be vegan, right? So it's kind of tainted the jury there.
Yeah, that was my question to you. Do you think that those people dropped off because they just like got lazy and don't care about the ethics and listened to Drew and was just like, fuck it, I'll stop
Well,
being vegan?
I
Or
don't know
do you
who his friends are
he's
exactly, but if you're living on the big island of Hawaii, I kind of have a good guess as to who some of them may be. And again, it comes back to people who are not really into veganism as vegans. They're into like extreme fringe dieting, like such as extended water fasts, extended stints on fully raw fruitarian diets. Once again, I'm not saying if you do those practices you will inevitably fail. I'm just saying it raises your probability much higher than if you eat a sensible diet like yourself or myself and many others here in the chat. So I think they were doing the extreme fringe dieting, which really didn't care about animals or ethics or morality. Secondly, you had your friend there getting in each one of them's ear. Look at me.
Yeah, absolutely. Drew has influenced people in their ear for sure.
Yeah, so I'm going, that's why 25 got whittled down to 7 or whatever. You just have the perfect conditions. People on a diet that's pretty much hard to get enough calories and nutrients, then I guess some of them might be depleted, and Drew's in your ear. So I wouldn't take what he says as any kind of science.
Can I answer a couple questions in the chat?
Yeah.
So first question from BG Tuber, are there any ex-vegans who ate at least 2,500 calories a day from a variety of cooked plant foods plus B12 and vitamin D in the winter? And my answer to that is, of course, I don't know, but I think your question is a great question, and it's true. There is a trend that people who are eating a sufficient calorie with B12 and hopefully DHA2, which is pretty proven that vegans as just a safety procedure should take some DHA and EPA from algae-based supplements because it's hard to convert from chia seeds and things like that in some people. But no, you're totally right. There's a trend that these ex-vegans were either under calorically nourished, not taking a B12 supplement, and that people like Ryan and I who are just like fit, we eat enough food, we supplement with simple supplement. I don't take vitamin D. I'm out biking in my short sleeve shirt all day, and my vitamin D hasn't been low, but a DHA and a B12 supplement and eating sufficient calories, I think that there's essentially no ex-vegans on YouTube who eat like that, like Ryan and I do, and who are coming out as ex-vegans. The next question is this was very important to me, from Ethologos. If you're science-based, Jackson, you should know an experiment designed by you, performed by you, conducted on you, and observed by you isn't science-based. I 100% agree. My experiment would be an anecdotal, personal experiment. It wouldn't be for the general public entirely, although I have been getting so many messages from people saying that introducing a little animal products was beneficial, so I was willing to try it on myself. But I agree, it's not a good science experiment. It's just because these fucking carnivores have been saying, Jackson, you should try it, and they've been getting in my head just to try it for the benefit of documenting it on YouTube. But don't try to put me down as anti-science, because I agree that is an extremely flawed anecdotal scientific experiment.
I saw Soldier again. He raised a good point there. I'm going to read it what he said. It sounds kind of a joke, but he's totally true here. He said, if you must do this, said he should go on a roadkill hunt. It will make the experiment more dramatic and we'll get more views. But I agree, if you have to go down this road, which I definitely don't want you to, that seems like the better way to do it.
Of course, agreed. And then someone else says, Jackson, why don't you just try eating clams or go vegetarian instead? Well, vegetarian, no, because dairy and eggs from industrial sources are even more unethical than muscle meat, because those animals are exploited for so much longer. But clams are the best thing. Ryan, what do you think about clams and oysters? I heard Vegan Gains say the other day that he and his beliefs think that those beings have some form of sentience, so we might as well not eat them. And then I've also talked with people like Jay, plant-based athlete, who thinks that, because they don't have brains or nervous systems, there is a pretty good debate that vegans who want to introduce animal products should just try eating clams instead of eating muscle meat and stuff. What do you think about that?
Are you talking about me personally? Would I eat them, or are you talking about people who somehow perceive themselves as sick?
Where do you put oysters, clams, and mussels on the spectrum of sentience in your opinion, I guess, because we
Yeah,
don't really.
I've read research on it. It seems like, yeah, as far as like, non-plants go, they seem to be lacking some of the most like essential equipment for sentience. That
Yeah.
said, like I see absolutely zero reason to eat on a for me personally and for most vegans. Like I'm kicking ass right now. Like I said, I can't imagine I could feel better or be, more energetic, or have better digestion or less brain fog. So I don't see why I have how eating a bivalve could make anything better. So for me, it's just like a moot point. There's just no need to eat a
Sure.
bivalve.
Sure. All right, more questions, and then we should shut it down. I can't wait to post this. Can you let me post this on my channel? I really want to.
Yeah, Jackson. The only hiccup is if hopefully it'll all be there when I hit end and YouTube saves it to my
It
my
will.
video
It will.
manager. So because
It will.
that test experiment I did with you earlier, I didn't find it in my video manager, so I have some minor
All right.
fears. But
I
maybe
think
it's
it
because
will because it's public.
maybe because it
I
was
think it
too
will.
short or something like that. So as long as I have a copy of it, yeah, I'll get it to. We'll
No
discuss
comment
the
chick said Jackson got ethically slaughtered in this debate. Again, I don't agree because the whole point is I've been saying that it would be it's not ethical to kill animals, and me doing my experiment would be less ethical than my current vegan diet. I'm simply doing it, or I simply thought of the idea of doing it in the context of doing it for YouTube, giving the carnivores the benefit of the doubt that there's something that we might be missing. And I fully believe that if we found out scientific proof that 10% of calories from animal products gave you much better longevity and benefits to a
and it
fully
won't.
vegan diet, which is not the case. But if that came out, and there are so many carnivores chatting in my ear on social media that are telling me that that might be the case. So I was definitely influenced by that. And if we found out that you needed to eat some animal products, I would want to know that, because I don't think we should be tribally vegan if it's not healthy. But thankfully, we do know that it is healthy. And so I probably won't do the experiment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Let me add one more thing about bivalves. I saw someone mention it. I mean, what do? They just sit on the ocean floor and suck up pollutants. So if you're eating them for your health, might want to think again. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions that we should answer? I'm scrolling through. Why does Plantriotic think? Oh, where'd that question go? What? Oh, dang it. Oh, I saw a question, but I don't see it anymore.
But I see a lot of people saying,
Drew, hey, Drew's in the chat. Drew, do you have any questions for me here publicly? Oh, it says, why does Plantriotic think he's not being influenced? Every idea you have, you think is your own, but you admit you got the idea from talking with them. I've said this whole time that I've been influenced by. No, I haven't been influenced in that I think that a carnivore diet's healthy. I've simply been influenced to the idea of doing a 30-day experiment. That is it. I've been making videos and advocating for eating a mainly plant-based diet, or in my case, 100% plant-based diet. I was influenced to the idea of doing a 30-day experiment of unethically killing animals in order to see how it reacts with my body, because I got annoyed with all these carnivores saying, we can't listen to you because you've never tried eating animal products after being vegan. So I've been influenced by them for sure, although I haven't eaten animal products yet. Mitch, who comments on all my videos, she's a carnivore, I believe. My digestion has been awesome since cutting back plant foods. That's great for you, but Ryan and I and most of our friends have great digestion.
my digestion freaking kicks ass.
Yeah, my poops come out so quick. They're not diarrhea. There's no mess. It's the best digestion.
Yeah, this is the best poops of my life. Not to get too graphic here, but yeah, it's awesome.
Drew, do you have any questions for us? I guess not. So why are you letting them influence you? Why are you giving in? I'm not. I haven't eaten animal products. I'm just here talking to you guys if you think it would be a beneficial 30-day YouTube experiment, but clearly most people do not think it would be good.
A vegan foot soldier who's joined us later here echoed what I said earlier. He said these anti-vegans are like Satan whispering in your ear. Again, not to call anyone evil or satanic, but it's just an analogy, trying to lead you down a path of wrongness, especially for someone who's so healthy and vibrant, such as yourself. I think they'd find that as a huge prize.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, I think we've gotten enough out of this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, Jackson. Again, I just want to reiterate much love to you. If I got a little passionate, that's me. I'm very passionate
I got
about
passionate.
veganism, and so are you too. And if anything, too, you could see from the comments here that if you, that sounds like hopefully you're not going. Thankfully, you're not going to go down that experiment anymore.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be well received by the vast majority of vegans.
Of course. And I guess to reiterate our points, I am more vegan than ever. Ryan and I have the same relationship as we have before, which we are on we have the same mission, which is to promote the vegan lifestyle for health, the animals, and the environment. I think that you should eat as locally as possible, and you should definitely be vegan if you shop from a grocery store. And I guess the only big difference between us right now that I can really see is that I think that if you've tried any diet, whether it's vegan or paleo or whatever, for many, many years, I mean, no, it's important to wrap up what we both think. I don't want, I want to be honest
I
here.
just don't want to lump vegan in with paleo and stuff like that because diet is secondary for vegan. You know?
True.
Mhm.
I'm talking purely here. Let's say ethics, purely from a health perspective. I'm talking from a health perspective. If you think that there is a chance that your long-term diet could be deficient in something based on being influenced by others, I think it is reasonable to try a different diet, I guess, even if it includes harming animals. If you honor to yourself that it is for 30 days, you do it from the most from the most ethical sources or least unethical sources. And I think you should, because we're just living this human experience, trying to figure out what is best for us and the planet and everything. And if you're questioning your diet, I will not shame you for trying something for 30 days and then being honest to yourself. And if you get extreme benefits from changing, then start to consider something, whether that's changing your diet within your vegan diet or whether it's eating animal products. I don't think that will happen because, as Ryan and I have said, there's nothing in a healthy vegan diet that you need animals. Like you can get everything from a healthy vegan diet, but I just don't see the problem with trying something for 30 days if you've done one thing long term for a long time just to see as an experiment and you try to do it from the most ethical ways. And I'm biking from Alaska to South America. I'm currently in El Salvador with my vegan doggy Maggie, and I'm still vegan as fuck. And go watch my videos, Plantriotic on Instagram, YouTube, everything. Ryan, do you have any closing statements?
Yeah, I think I can speak for most people here in the chat that we all care about you, and we really hope that this thought experiment of yours just remains that a really interesting thought experiment, but not one that you actually go and pursue in reality. Because like I told you earlier, I think you'll regret it, and
I realized that I've been too influenced by the carnivores, and I don't agree with their nutritional philosophy.
And I've been talk to you every day for 2 weeks rather than Drew. Let's get that happen. And Ryan chat Plantriotic.
It's not that would do anything because you and I have the same points. It would only reiterate what I've been doing. The only thing that would influence me is if someone had this like dramatic statement that changing it would be different. So I still think the same things. I do not think meat is healthy. I think that a vegan diet is best. I just got so sick of these carnivores saying that we can't listen to you because you're in your vegan haze. And I thought, why don't I get out of the vegan haze and prove to them that I'm not crazy, that plants are best. But you're right, it's just not worth it. It's stupid. And I'm so satisfied and happy ethically and health-wise with my diet. So why change it up just because a small group of fringe, unscientific, kind of weird people are advocating for something different? You are right.
Great. That's exactly, yeah, that's how a lot of us see it too. Yeah. So don't listen to the anti-scientific, anti-vegan people, especially you, Jackson. You're just kicking butt, and I want to see you continue kicking butt as a vegan, and I want to see
Yes,
you make it all the way down to South
fully
America.
intend on doing
I
that
want to show the world
before
how a vegan could cycle from Alaska to deep South
what I'm doing.
America.
What I'm doing. Friends, not food.
Yeah.
Friends, not food. All right. Thank you, guys. This was fun.
All right, Jackson. If you guys want to hang around, I'll just answer a few little questions here. But yeah, when this is done, I'll double check to make sure it uploaded. All right, guys. So I think what do you guys think? It sounds like this live chat discussion here had an influence on Jackson. What do you guys think? It sounds like it's just going to stay a thought experiment, right? Yeah, so there you go, Hunter Toby. No experiment. You're going to subscribe. I saw some people say you're unsubbing. Well, it sounds like got nothing to worry about. He's still going to remain a vegan channel. So if any of you guys unsubbed or thought of unsubbing, go back and sub. So cool. I mean this is part of veganism for me, at least, is to talk to people about veganism, get down with some of the issues and the realities going on, and it's all about perspective. Given this, in case giving Jackson my perspective, and you guys sharing your perspective too. So anything, you guys got any questions here? I missed Vegan Gains in the chat. I saw some people mention his name. I was looking for him. I did see Ask Yourself and Foot Soldiers. So yeah, I'm bummed I didn't see Vegan Gains in the chat here today. Yeah, this is more of a Vegan Gains style live chat, huh? So let's see, you guys have any questions for me before I go and think about having some lunch and joining back with Angie? I think she's been making us like vegan things for Sunday, like vegan treats and snacks. But I'll go back and see what she's up to in a sec. Let's see. He was in the chat. Darn. Yeah, there's so many people on today. I want to say thanks to everyone who's been here, and especially the people who did all the super chat tips. I didn't give you guys any thanks or kudos just in this particular chat because it was going so, the debate was going. I couldn't really stop it or anything like that. Oh, the Korean dinner last night was awesome. Yeah, produce not pills. We went to a local place here in Long Beach called Sira. Not only do they have their own separate vegan menu, they had like a new vegan menu they were trying out. So yeah, it was pretty cool. The only thing I was bummed they weren't playing the K-pop last night, so we're just listening to like electronic music and stuff like that. But which is cool. I like that. It's a cool hip little place. Now Jackson's a really nice guy, Diane. I don't want anyone to if this is your first time of seeing or listening to Jackson talk, this is quite uncharacteristic of him. In fact, when I first heard late last night what his little his thought experiment was, I just texted him immediately like, no, don't do this, and then it turned into like, let's talk about this on a live stream today. But it was really uncharacteristic of him, really surprising. How old is Jackson? I'm not sure. He graduated from college maybe like 3 years ago, so I'm guessing like 26 or something like that, give or take a year or so. But yeah, no, he has tattoos on his body, about of animals, like farm animals and stuff like that. So I guess this is really, really not characteristic of him. Let's see, Babette. Do I think vegans eating occasional junk foods could help you stay sane? Yeah, that's what I think so too. I think they're great, especially for, like I said, people who miss certain things from their non-vegan past, or who are thinking about converting to vegan but don't want to give up things. I always say now in 2019, there's nothing you have to give up. There's vegan versions of everything out there, and they're often better than the non-vegan versions that you remember from their past. Foot Soldier, I want to say, man, you've been making a lot of cool videos, and they're usually pretty freaking funny too. I love. I think I might be watching your videos more than any other vegan channels right now. I just thought I'd let you know that I'm not always commenting. I'm usually watching on my Apple TV, so I can't really comment on there. So I want to give you some kudos there. Let's see. Let's see, what's he doing there? So he's just instilling doubt. It's the same as financial investing. You can lose people a lot of money by whispering in their ears the stocks they're missing out. Yeah, that's what Drew was doing to him. That's what I'm saying. See you, Drew, if you're gone now. But yeah, it's he just doesn't need some like former vegan who's now anti-vegan with an agenda talking to him every day. I was surprised when Plantriotic said him and Drew were talking every day. Um, Not sure what they're talking about, but I guess I have a better guess now. Um, cool. I see Foot Soldier getting some love there. Cool. So any other questions for me? I'll hang out a tad bit longer. I've been on quite a long time today, but good thing I didn't have any real big, firm plans today. I just kind of woke up and this kind of, me and Jackson started texting and this started happening. Um, couldn't agree with you more there, Rachel. And thanks, Cassio Paleo. Yeah, I was trying to be chill and logical in there. Just bringing up everything, the evidence, the science, the logic, using every tool at our disposal here. No, that really was him, CGA. But I think we convinced him to not do this. Yeah, but Angie, yeah, she's making some food for us, I believe, for tomorrow, to take over to our relatives for a, to see the fam on Easter. Almost called it Thanksgiving. The revised cookbook, yes, Shira. I just yesterday I gave word to our printer to press up more. So yeah, we should have some hopefully by this time next week, and I'll get them up on our store shop, happyhealthyvegan.org. And yeah, we'll keep it carb baby. We'll be back in business. But if you really need it immediately, we still have the ebook on our website too. So either way, take your pick, get it now, ebook, or just wait another week, and we'll have more in. Yes, more cookbooks are on their way. Yeah, sorry we let it go out of print. Will our families eat what we prepare for them tomorrow? They always love what we bring over. They know that being vegan doesn't suck. They know that firsthand. In fact, when we go to Thanksgiving, the past few years at least, they're not only are we bringing vegan food, a few of the sisters are also making vegan stuff too. So it's I would say the vegan we're like maybe at the entire family, maybe 1/3 of the food there is vegan now with everyone bringing stuff. So it's coming along. We can't get the whole family vegan, but they're really interested. They know, food kicks ass, and they know, you can be really healthy and and have a fun life being vegan. It's not some kind of ascetic life of like renunciation or anything like that. Babino Patriotic looks great. He's just super lean right now because he rides his bike every day. He started in Alaska. He stayed in his home in LA for a few months, and he continued on down to Mexico. Now he's in El Salvador. He's biking every day, pulling 100 pounds with his dog. So yeah, that's what he's doing. He should be lean as F right now. He's burning tons of calories. What do I do for work, Robin? This is part of what I do. Social media, our e-commerce, music is a source of income as well. So yeah, just kind of multiple streams of income. Let's see. Yeah, I would agree with Vegan Foot Soldier that we are pretty friendly. Totes, like, why would we not be friendly? What did someone say or accuse there? Yeah, and Race Lover put some links up there in the chat to our store if you're curious about getting Keep It Carb Baby or anything like that. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, Jackson's pretty brave to bike out in the open and some pretty dangerous lands with like going through Mexico. Is all the murders that the drug cartels have been responsible for the past few years, and banditos on the road. So he's brave. He's doing great. How long has my wife been a vegan? Asked Vegan Corey. Well, Angie went vegan. If you watch our video from like about a month and a half ago, why we're still vegan, we tell our whole vegan stories there. So check it out. But yeah, she's been a vegetarian since the 80s, and we both went fully vegan in 2010. So she's pretty much, eating the least amount of meat of anyone around our age that you'll ever meet. Jackson's not living in El Salvador, but he's passing through El Salvador as he continues his quest to bike through all of Central and Southern America. Um, let's see, what did I do for work before YouTube e-commerce income? Um, I've always subscribed to this philosophy of multiple streams of income. Angie had a pretty lucrative podcasting career, which we tied into affiliate advertising. I was a web developer before that, and working with Angie on podcasting. I was doing search engine optimization to help our work out. So yeah, I've done a bunch of stuff. I've have many hats I can wear. But now I'm really happy just wearing the vegan social media and musician hats. Ooh, you're gonna make bro tacos this week. Yeah, I remember my recipe for bro tacos. I outlined it last night. It's pretty simple, pretty good. In fact, that sounds pretty cool right now. Um, yeah, vegan foot soldier literally wears many hats, huh? Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Let's see. Yeah, Jackson was making a few of us a little mad, just seeing how, but hopefully it all worked out. Hopefully it was a catharsis, a discussion that needed to happen, a preemptive strike, if you will. If this had not happened, who knows what might have gone down. So I think I think he sees that, his experiment, as interesting as it may be, if he could do it, like I said, in an alternate reality where no one or nothing gets harmed, great. But, that's not possible. We only have one reality. So I think it's all for the best. Thanks, Chris. Thanks so much. What else you guys asking for here? Drew is messaging Jackson as we speak. Probably so. I didn't know those guys were such bros or anything like that. Um, let's see. Rachel wants to know if I ever had social anxiety or been shy. Did age help with that? No, nothing's really. I'm still as I was in those attributes as now as I was in the past. Being vegan or aging hasn't helped too much, but I guess a little more public speaking has helped. On the regular basis has helped with that a little bit. But I see some people I can just totally kill it in public speaking in ways that I can't. Yeah, good point, Kayla. Yeah, I didn't feel he needed to make videos like what you're describing there. There's already plenty, and plus, I don't even think you could probably put that on YouTube, which was his goal. I thought, I don't think they allow that for good reason. Why did Jackson take off? He's got stuff to do, man. So I got stuff to do too, but I decided to stay on with you guys a little bit. Drew said on the stream he wants to be a guest on my channel. I don't know. I don't really know him. All I know is that one video of his I responded to, and it just kind of didn't bode well for him being like all that truthful. So I kind of have I'm not too gun ho on it, let's say. But Jackson I know really well. Like you said, we've known each other for many years. I know where he's coming from. He tries his best to to be truthful and articulate. So I thought he'd make a good guest and good discussion. Hey, Kay, I didn't know you've been here. Good to see you back again. No, we're not talking any smack. Hey, Foot Soldier, if someone hasn't heard your music, what album do you recommend they start with? Yeah, good question, Foot Soldier. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Angie and I are also musicians. Life Goes On is our album. Thanks for asking, Foot Soldier. Yeah, start with this. It's on all musical services. You can buy it from our website. Just go to you can get it on happyhealthyvegan.org if you want. You can get it on our you get it on lowspirals.bandcamp.com. You can listen to it on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Tidal. So yeah, it's out there. And look who joined us.
Yeah. Okay, so I was just taking a picture of the mac and cheese recipe that I'm working on.
Let me put that up close.
Yeah.
You're making this recipe for your next book, right?
Yeah. So it's a cauliflower mac and cheese.
Check that out.
I didn't have cashews, so I did it without.
Oh, what'd you do?
It's all veggies.
All veggies. So there's no like vegan cheese like stuff here.
No. But anyways, I thought I would let you have a But I don't. And now I'm thinking we should just eat it, and I should make like my layered bean dip for tomorrow instead.
Oh yeah, I was
I'm
telling him that
thinking-
you're making food for the fam tomorrow for
Yeah, but
Sunday.
I realized that all our avocados are ripe, so I was like, oh, layered bean dip might
Oh, I see all
be
the
more
cauliflower.
popular, and we could, yeah.
It's delish.
I know.
Mm.
After I was done, I was like, now I just kind of want to eat this. I don't want to save it till tomorrow.
Yeah, screw tomorrow.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah, so I put some pieces of cauliflower in here too, just because I like it.
She's a cooking wizard, guys, and a cutie, as OG Buck notices.
Oh, thanks. I don't
And
really feel like
Hima's Hero wants us to adopt him or her.
Uh oh. I'll show you the other thing I made. No, you can eat. You go ahead and eat it. What the hell?
No, well, sure. No, that's cool.
I'm coming back.
Mm.
I'm gonna do it home.
Oh, wow. So, guys, it looks like creamy, like naughty cheese and stuff like that, but not. It's not. There's no like creamy cheese. All veggies here, guys. Who says, oh, if you're not eating like a whole food plant, it's like, processed. Like this is minimally processed. You just took whole food plants and mixed them together and made this. It doesn't suck being vegan, guys. It really doesn't.
These smell so good. I don't know how I haven't eaten them.
In fact, I have to say, I just love being vegan. As it goes beyond not sucking.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here's the other thing I made. I don't know how I haven't eaten one.
Ooh, check this out, guys. Ooh, what are these now, guys?
They're black bean brownie donuts. Let's see if I can get one out here. So I baked them in a donut pan. Oh god, it smells so good. Anyways, black bean brownies. Yep. What's going on? Getting texts, dude. All right, here.
All
Let's eat
right.
some more of that.
So are those for tomorrow? Is that for the fam? Because people want to know what the fam thinks of all this food. I said the fam loves our freaking food. You kidding? They love it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to save this for the fam. I want to eat it.
Screw the fam. They're gonna have their own stuff.
I'm gonna have a whole pot.
Yeah.
Not like I have just a little bit. I have a ton.
Yeah.
I made the whole bag of pasta. And the whole head of cauliflower. So good. Yeah, it's like 4 cups of cauliflower.
Jackson texted me here.
Oh my god. I didn't realize how hungry I was.
Gotta say, my smoothie kept me pretty filled up pretty good.
Wow.
If you guys saw that video I made yesterday, how I trained how I trained in a day, I showed you that clean machine protein I put in there. It really seems to keep me fuller longer than I was just doing all fruit and stuff. It really, those studies that say more protein keeps you more satiated, I always kind of laughed at that. But I think there is something to that. I don't feel as like I'm burning through the food as quickly. It keeps, I stay fuller longer. So another benefit of that stuff. Usually after a smoothie, it's all liquid. I'm hungry like, maybe 2-3 hours after. And, I had my smoothie like 4.5, 5 hours ago. I wish, Race Lover, we could somehow get some of this to you for helping out. That'd be awesome, huh? No, yeah, I tell you, custom vegan mac and cheese. It's not even like, cheese. It's just like, look at this, guys. It's like cauliflower right here, yeah? Love being vegan. Oh, my digestion. No, my digestion, I say, kicks ass. I mean, it's not that hard to digest these whole food plants, especially if you didn't screw up your gut with like, some extreme kind of fringe diets and stuff like that. I could have Foot Soldier on sometime. That'd be cool. It wouldn't be a debate of I guess, because I think we agree on pretty much the whole ball of wax of veganism, but it'd be fun to have Foot Soldier on sometime. That'd be cool, bro. We should do that. Yeah, I think I got your email, so I know how to hit you up, give you the link and everything. Cool. his channel. It's called Vegan Foot Soldier. If you're asking about if that's the channel you're asking about, check him out. He makes some really just intelligent and funny videos, man. It's like, yeah, I think he's the funniest of all the vegan YouTubers. That's why I told Jackson, who didn't know who you were. I said he's kind of a comedian, like a vegan comedian. No comment, chick. Let's not say anything like that. Jackson's not doing anything like that unless he's there to get some rice or something like that. No. Oh, thanks, Cassie Opio. Pia, thanks for joining us.
I can't.
Oh, we're gonna try one of these vegan donut things for you guys here. So we'll see what that's like.
All right, this is what it's all about. So this is not my recipe. This was I think it's called neat. Like there's the neat egg, and it's their baking mix.
We had some of that in the cupboard. Oh, I didn't even see that, and I took all the stuff out of the cupboard the other day.
I think we had it from a vegan cuts box.
Wow.
Not bad.
Yeah. I don't think the fam will be too bummed on that if they had one.
Oh, yeah. I was like, it's not that sweet. So I guess if they're used to really sweet, they might.
Yeah, it's not that sweet. Despite what it looks like, guys. Yeah, it's not the world's sweetest
very
donut.
Adult.
Some might say, oh, it's kind of hippie.
It's very hippie. Yeah, but black bean brownies are super good. So good.
Thank you.
So we're just having a mukbang now.
Yeah, we're doing a mukbang. Live debate turned to mukbang.
That live debate was making me sick.
I'm sorry, babe.
It was making me physically sick. I was like so anxious and so angry that I just had to turn it off, and I just put BTS on and started cooking.
Smart
and I was
plan.
like, phew. And then
Smart
Tracy
plan.
and I started texting.
Smart plan. Yeah, BTS will make you feel better than a debate like this.
Tracy, the moderator, says the debates are her least favorite part.
I've heard this is my first one of the year, probably.
She hates that too.
Well, this one had to happen. I think at the end Jackson seemed like he realized now this probably wouldn't be a good idea.
She said like lots of people were saying like unsub. They're like all unsubbing.
I think he saw, that it's just not going to do what he wanted it to do.
The worst case scenario.
And he saw that the ideas were being whispered to him from like carnivore anti-vegans who I say, just why listen to them for? You know, they have an agenda. They don't have science to back up what they're saying. They're just trying.
I'm already finding myself wanting to say things, but I don't want to because I don't want to keep spreading hate.
Yeah, we're not into hate, guys.
There's so much hate out there right now, and everyone is like so angry with all their opinions. Like everywhere I go, like even on Twitter, like I tried to go on Twitter and stay outside of all this kind of drama.
Twitter can get dramatic.
Twitter has its own drama,
yeah.
And I've seen people in there going like, which do you think has the most drama? Twitter, Facebook, or
what's the
some
best?
other thing? And I was like, well, I would say YouTube if it was an option on here.
You know what's the best one for no drama? Strava.
Strava's
beautiful, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Strava's awesome. There's never any drama on Strava.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No drama on Strava.
No drama on Strava.
Maybe you're just not in the right place for the drama.
No, it just doesn't happen.
It's just all pure kudos all the time.
Yeah, it's all kudos and hey, good job.
I haven't used Strava in like probably a year. I never Strava anything. I started getting paranoid that people are just like gonna stalk me where I go. Anyways, that was delicious. Huh?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
You could polish this.
Wow.
Well, actually, I might want a few more
Here,
bites.
have a few more bites. We'll share it together.
I feel weird eating on camera.
So it's been a pretty epic stream today, you know?
Yeah.
Super epic. Yeah.
I wanted to point out too, I thought Bill the Snake was dead.
Oh, look at Jade 64. What's up from Berkeley, California? Hardcore vegan for life. Awesome, Jade. Thanks so much for your super chat tip there. Yeah. And look at our Twitter, Happy Alley Vegan at Ryan Lum.
Oh,
you'll see a shout out to you. But thanks. Yeah, we're super hardcore California vegans representing as well.
I heard this was gonna suck without cashews, but I think I like it better. The cashews are so heavy.
No, it's fine. Yeah, there's nothing lacking in it or anything like that.
It's super tasty.
Macy, no, don't feel bummed about Jackson. He just had some weird thoughts put into his head by his recent vegan friends, and it sounds like he's not going to do it anymore. So we all of us collectively,
I guess he was vulnerable.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and we collectively did our thing here. So, high five to everyone. We kicked some butt today. We did our form of vegan activism here to persuade someone from making a vegan mistake.
Terrible mistake.
Yeah. So we're all cool. It's all good.
Ah, yum. That's so good.
So good, huh? I think I should go chill out too. Listen to some BTS and get in that little happy space that you're in right now.
Was 8 reasons why Tay Tay is a genius. Oh, okay, I'll click that. That sounds better than a bunch of people fighting.
It's all good, guys. I guess we'll
you
get going. We'll get going, huh?
All right.
Yeah, start.
Yeah, that is so good.
Yeah.
Plus, I gotta meet
meet
Allison soon, and we're gonna go walk Bandit. If you guys watched my vlog,
Let's watch that vlog from last week where we're walking the little black doggy. It's gonna walk him again, and we're gonna walk him again later this week.
yeah, I gotta find out what day.
Yeah, find out. Yeah,
Mhm.
make sure it's not the day we're going to Sail Ranch.
Straight Veg texted me too.
I saw him
he
on
couldn't
there.
handle it anymore.
Yeah, I saw Straight Veg. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
He's inviting us out to eat next week.
Oh, he's gonna be in town.
Yeah, his wife's gonna be in town.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're probably gonna want to go to Veggie Grill.
they love Veggie Grill.
I know. I'll see if we can get him to go somewhere else.
Cool. Show him my games. He's
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, he used to be a trainer at LA Fitness too. So cool.
Oh, that's right. I can't forget to do some lifts today. I'm trying to get my muscle back.
Yeah.
It's so small. It's small.
Yeah, everyone's telling us last night. A few people look up NCT next as your next K-pop band.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I have space in my life.
Look
for
at
more
Jay
than
here.
one.
I don't know if we're still using those flavored vegan condoms. Are they flavored, the ones that we have right now?
I guess you wouldn't know, but I would. And yes, the strawberry was pretty tasty.
Okay, so now you know.
Oh my god, you guys are so funny. Actually, yeah, my big story is that I'm at 51. I'm finally going through menopause, so I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I think I'm good, guys.
Yeah, we're probably not gonna have an unplanned kid or anything
Trains
like that.
left the station.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm fine with it.
All right, guys. Well, cool. Thanks.
So good.
Yeah, thanks for everyone today. This is an interesting, unique kind of day on the live chat, that is. And yeah, thanks Race Lover for sticking around so long.
Wow, Race Lover's still here?
Race Lover is the
long
man.
haul. Dang, that was probably pretty active for the moderators today.
Yeah, I still Race Lover, email me. Do something. I want to send you a T-shirt or something. Life Goes On CD and both. So again,
At least digital downloads.
at the very least, yeah. So yeah, Race Lover, contact me. Message me on Twitter or Gmail or something like that.
Gosh, it was kind of spicy, huh? I'm trying to figure out if the mustard powder I put maybe made it spicy. Maybe I'll chill out with the mustard powder on the next one.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us on this crazy stream, and it all, I think it was for the greater good. I think it all worked out, as I'm trying to say. And thanks to you guys for.
Oh, hell was breaking loose. I was like, I'm out.
It was kind of crazy.
I can't do it anymore.
It kind of turned into.
I was like yelling back at Bobby. I'm like, what am I doing?
I just ended up banning him, so he's gone. Yeah.
And then he came back with
another account.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, first you come on your main account, lie and get banned. Then you come back on a troll account and lie some more and get banned. Like, Jesus Christ.
I know. Like, you never heard of someone getting upset and their voice raising. What the F is that?
Never happens. If you're vegan, you can't do these things.
You can't get upset and have your voice raised.
No,
that means you have too much.
Yeah, it means you gotta
estrogen.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Do you even know what RHT levels are?
They have a 30-year-old man, guys. Anyway, guys. Yeah, I guess we get back and start working on real videos and stuff too.
Real videos.
Yeah. No, thanks, guys. Well, thanks for your voices of support there, like Todd and all. And yeah, man, we're keeping it carb here, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good day or evening to y'all, and love ya.